Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you happen to be in the world. Welcome to tradertv.live. After breaking multi-session winning streaks yesterday, North American stock futures little changed once again this morning as we come off a relatively muted session. Yesterday, we did get both the S&P and Dow touching intraday highs before closing slightly lower on the day as continued strong economic data, including that jobs report back on Friday, continues to fuel the recent rally in equities. Coming up this afternoon, we'll get the latest Fed meeting minutes, possible clues in the comments as to when the Fed might be looking at moving on interest rates. Nothing as far as a timeline yet has been given for their plan. Individually as well, we're looking at Beyond Meat shares this morning, higher on further details regarding their expansion plans into China. We'll talk about Beyond Meat. News on BlackBerry this morning, Volvo choosing their QNX software for their platform with electric vehicles. Chinese EV maker Li Auto, meanwhile, to the downside this morning after an offering, also dragging down some of the other Chinese EV makers. It is Wednesday, April 7th, 2021. TraderTV.live starts now. Yeah, there we go. Look at North American markets at this point. Yeah, pretty muted, really. We are in negative territory for all three U.S. markets, but ever so slightly, 0.08, 0.09%. TSX futures here in Toronto a little bit higher, 0.25%. You can see Brazil open trading lower. Yeah, big move down in Bitcoin this morning, 3.5% negative territory. Crude is higher to start, and gold to the downside so far this morning. Good morning, guys. It's Wednesday. We have a little bit of a cautious wait-and-see kind of feel to the market again today. We saw a bit of a muted session yesterday. All three markets in the U.S. ending lower at the end of the day yesterday. Thank you all, by the way, for coming out and joining us for the first time for our afternoon show. Join us every single day, 3:15 p.m. to 4. We'll take you through to the close. Great time yesterday. Lots to look at, lots to talk about heading into the last hour of the day. But here we go, guys. It's Wednesday. Let's get going.
Absolutely. Yeah, it's Wednesday. It's hump day. Oddly enough, it was interesting that we didn't even get into that UTME in that last hour show. It flew by in that 45 minutes into that close, but it'll probably be on watch for some of you guys that are looking at it today. And you let off there, Brendan, by talking about crypto to the downside. You're at like 56. Looking at it, back through 2000 on Ethereum, probably a little bit more important. You're going to see SOS up 30%. There was that short sell report, of course, that came out like last week, and they're under pressure, gapping to the upside here. Going to be some actionable trades. I've already scalped a little bit off of it here, and I feel like it's done 20 million shares. We're an hour till the open, so things are going to get really, really spicy in this one. It's going to be one of those days where you try to figure out the stocks that are moving, which is what we're all about here. That's why we're going to go over our watch list and go over the individual names that are moving, just in case we don't get any action in the overall market. And that's going to be the key thing, as it always is for day traders here. So pick the right spot, have a plan, which we're going to try to give to you guys, and then execute it, my friend Sean.
Yeah, we're executing all over the place. I actually tweeted out today, 872, I went long here on XL. So if you, I'll put this in our chat right here. And if you want to follow me, I do put it, some of the, moves that I make, and portfolio building. So right there, I think we have room to run to the mid-teens, but we're already in the money. I mean, whether or not you buy 1,000 shares and you're up $500 right now, or you bought 100 shares and you're up $50. Still no, you won't be up $50. Yeah, if you bought 100 shares, you would be. We're up nicely now on XL. Fleet just continues to run to the upside. But guys, welcome to the show. It's going to be a good one. We had a fantastic turnout yesterday for our 3:15 show. Arun is already in the building, ladies and gentlemen. So he'll be joining me tonight at 3:15. It's going to be a good one. We're looking forward to that, and then looking forward to seeing him hopefully in person up at the big screen today. It's going to be a good one. We'll see what shirt he's wearing, guys.
Yeah, we're going to see what shirt he's wearing. We're going to talk about the futures. Arun going to join us coming up here about 25 minutes. We'll have a look at the overall market and the futures. Before we do anything else, let's get over to the desk and say good morning to Miss B.
to a good profitable day and kindly remind you to like this video and subscribe to our channel. Let's get it started, Brendan.
All right, guys, we haven't had a look at the top 10 list in a while. We've had some data issues on our internal site here, but here we go. Top 10 traders from Day Trade the World yesterday coming out of Europe. This is why we show you this. To just, display the fact that there's lots of opportunity and lots of markets around the world. 41,000 and change coming out of Amsterdam, Paris, and the Xetra exchange over in Germany. North American here at number 2, 40,500. More Europe, number 3, 26,000. But great numbers top to bottom here. That is the top 10 list traders here at Day Trade the World. Lots of things to discuss this morning. Let's start off maybe with BlackBerry, guys. We just snuck it in there at the end. On the watch list, sign up for the watch list, absolutely free every single day. But we're going to talk about BlackBerry coming up. We'll have a look at the chart. But yeah, Volvo coming out this morning saying, you know what, they're going to use their platform, BlackBerry's platform, in their vehicles as well.
Yeah, look, we're past meme stock status for this particular name. That's calmed down for quite some time. It did so while at least making a temporary low here. I want to look at this level here back in the beginning of March for that like 876. Of course, earnings weren't great. You saw us shorting that one on the show. It didn't drop nearly as far as I kind of anticipated that it would. I thought it would get down to $8. It was still a solid day when it happened. Got to 835. And we're now basing out above this 9 even area. So I look at that previous 876. I look at that 9 even and say to myself, when things looked. When the juice got out of the meme stock status, when the disappointment in the earnings dust settled down, you did already make a pretty solid bottom where this is making a runoff of. So even if this gets rolled over on the news, I'm looking at the top end of these ranges to look for some day trade longs here. I mean. We've seen the money come in this in the past. We've seen the squeeze play aspect of it. You get a positive catalyst after forming what was a decent little consolidation bottom on BlackBerry. And this is part of that transition, which has been ongoing for quite a while. It is their security aspect. It is a QNX in vehicles that is going to be the driver for them in the long term. So this is a good news story. Of course, it would have been nice if they got that right after earnings, I'm sure, but beggars can't be choosers. I'm gonna like the long if we can defend like that 9 to 925 area on the session today. If things ever got hairy, I'd look at that 870, 875. But I'm glad we got this one on the list. I know a lot of people. I'm sure there's plenty of traders that are also holding the bag. So I think it's one of those things where you have to consider if you get any outsized moves. I'd expect a lot of sellers in and around 12 that have picked it up on some consolidation before, and they'd be happy to dump that if they can get back that 30% that it came down. So if it does extend a move in the next couple of weeks, I think there's a heck of a lot of resistance at 12, 12.50.
Yeah, there's no way in hell this thing gets to $12. BlackBerry, in my opinion, is just. It's garbage. I mean, it only had to move up, guys, because of Wall Street bets. I mean, it is what it is. Like, this was doing absolutely nothing. I mean, it's not garbage if you're long at $4, But, I mean, this move up, it was all just fueled by Reddit and then, come back down to life, and we're right back down here. The thing is, you do have this 50-period moving average at 10 and change. So there's some potential there. BlackBerry, it's moving good this morning, so don't get me wrong, 3.5%, but there's just so many better places to put your money in, and I don't think we get anywhere near 12 anytime soon, and again, unless there's a huge short interest or some sort of thing that's not company related on BlackBerry. I don't like this name. I think you could continue to short it. If you can't tell, I don't like it. We probably break. I mean, we break this 840 before we see 12. So watch out below here. 850 on the downside. I think that's going to be something. And let's just wait for that. But if you do like a breakout, I mean, 950 should be there for you. I already put up my sticky note. You guys asked for it. It's back. BlackBerry's obviously not going to be on here. There's not too many names. We're still waiting for some CCL love. And then I put a little note down here. Good luck, traders, because today we may need some. And we'll just see what happens. I have Facebook on there as well, Brendan, and we'll get to that. No news, but I'm going to seek some revenge on that thing.
Yeah, BlackBerry, I think that daily chart tells the story on BlackBerry. I mean, even with positive news like this, really isn't making a dent on where it is on the daily chart. Let's bring in Mark Roberts here, president of Sun Lake Strategies. We'll have a chat with him about what to expect on a Wednesday. Good morning, Mark. Good to see you as always. Fed minutes coming later this afternoon. Sometimes can be a market move, but in this case, is there anything we should be anticipating coming from this?
Well, it's interesting. What always seems to happen is you get that volatility It could be the market lifts on that pullback. If there's no other extraneous news in the marketplace, it's usually a good dip to be buying for a day trade into the close. So that's typically what I do if I'm looking to get involved on a very short term. Let the market tick up because there's nothing that's been said that worries traders. When the selling comes back in, it's usually a good buying opportunity for a move into the close.
On that note, I mean, we've seen, record highs or thereabouts, over the past couple of sessions once again, without really seeing a significant pullback. Once again, we're consolidating, we're moving, constructively, sideways in a range without kind of seeing that big pullback. Overall, is this still a bullish sign for you?
It's a bullish sign, but what worries me is the breadth of the particular day. 2-3 days ago, the breadth was pretty poor considering the market was strong. What I'm finding is many a day when we've lifted and everybody's asking why, there's just no sellers. And likewise the other way, when we sell off, all of a sudden we're down 10 handles, 15 handles. Everybody's saying, what was the news? There's just no buyers. So I think if you had to put a word on this, I'd say you're sort of in a vacuum at this point, a bit of consolidation. I'm still looking for early to mid-summer, a nice big sell-off. So I'm keeping my powder dry.
As far as individual names, I mean, lots of directions we can kind of head this morning as far as individual names to look at. We've seen some of the travel names come back to the upside over the past couple of days. Airlines, cruise operators, all kind of leading in the past two sessions with this positivity regarding reopening, regarding the vaccine still lingering in the background. What are your thoughts on, reopening stocks in general, but specifically that travel group?
The travel group, I've stayed entirely involved in LUV, ALK, and JetBlue. I've hit home runs in those. I'm staying with the airlines. I've moved into the casinos as these pullbacks have occurred. Again, a nice move. Disney's been a little disappointing, but I'm just not ready for the cruise lines yet.
Let's shift over to technology as well, because Apple kind of came back to life going back, I think it was 2 days ago, for the first time where we saw Facebook, we saw Microsoft, those types of names making all-time highs or trading thereabouts near all-time highs. What do we make of this move in Apple? We're not really seeing much follow through yet.
I think Apple is good money invested, but at this point, I'm not sure you're going to see 140, 150 as you would in perhaps newer highs in a Facebook or newer highs in a Google. But Amazon and Apple tend to be lagging, and that worries me a little bit too.
And maybe, well, not worried, but cautious, I guess, is a good word to kind of put on the overall market. We mentioned when we spoke on Monday that, we're heading back into earnings season. We're going to get earnings coming out over the next couple of weeks. The bank's set to lead things off. With the market at all-time highs, how much, are investors, traders going to put weight into these reports?
I think a lot of the companies have already priced in near perfection. So that's a concern. The one thing I have to say, though, is if you look back over the last 12, 14 months, virtually nobody has given any guidance. It's a very rare occurrence. So if you start hearing guidance coming out, that gives me a lot of comfort, and that's those kind of stocks that I want to move to.
Good talk there, Mark. Hi, welcome, and thanks for joining us once again. Sunlight Strategies own Mark Roberts. I wanted to get your opinion again. You touched on them quickly there. Casinos, I'm not in any of these, and I feel like horrible because really it was kind of an easy reopen play. Anyways, I think so, in hindsight, I guess. What is your opinion here? You just mentioned a couple names earlier. MGM is really the only name here that's breaking out above, its current highs, its 52-week high. We're breaking past this 42. There's been news surrounding MGM. What is MGM the best? Like, do you play, when you get your clients or maybe your own money personally into stocks that have momentum like this, that are already breaking out? Or do you prefer a stock like an LVS where the chart looks similar, but we still, if it loads, still haven't taken out the high? Do you play the laggards in a position like this, or do you play the one that's quite clearly breaking out?
So LVS was an unusual one. I bought that about a year ago. I sold it out roughly a month and a half ago. So I'm out of that. Caesars is the one I'm looking at next. MGM, I have a very small long position, waiting for that to pull back as well. But I would say Caesars, CZR,
Right.
and MGM.
Okay, yeah, actually, I'm just looking up. It's funny because I never really go over to Caesars. I'm always looking at Wynn or LVS. I mean, there's the Macau exposure there, but Caesars, what interests you in that? I mean, we are above the 50-period moving average. I don't really see too much consolidation. I mean, I guess if we break above this $98, then we probably get a breakout to new highs. Can you explain maybe the thesis on why Caesars versus one of those other names?
Well, there was a lot of strong money flows when the stock was ticking at that 80 area. That's where was the buy. I'm waiting to see if it can pull back somewhere a little bit below 90 again and see whether there's money flows that are staying toward the bullish side. The relative strength is strong. Everything is good with the stock, but there's that bit of exhaustion in these names because I think most of the fast money or good solid money has been made, and now it's a question of what's the next catalyst. Obviously, the vaccine's going to help.
Yeah, no, I mean, that's why I was talking about missing these levels. Like, that was a kind of not an easy reopen play, and congratulations to you getting into LVS a year ago. That was quite a profitable little trade there. Anything, you gave us that note on Rio. Was there any other names that maybe you were looking at this morning that our traders may be interested in, that you're seeing some inflows, outflows heading into?
Not really. I'm also looking at ICLN, which is the clean tech ETF.
Oh, okay.
They've been going through some reweightings, so I'm waiting to see over the next week what stocks they're moving in and moving out of as far as their rebalance. Hydrogen names seem to be strong still. Water names seem to be strong. I was looking at LNN, Lin, which is in the irrigation space. There's a lot of areas. I'm looking for those disruptors, if you will, and also those long-term profitable kind of names that are going global in a bigger way.
You always, thank you for these names, Mark. You're always bringing us to new. You brought us to PAVE the other day, and now today ICLN here. This is an interesting one, and clean energy seems to be, especially with Joe Biden and the new regime in there. You can see where it's moved off of some of the election numbers there, 1950 or so, all the way to 34. That's almost a double there from November, from voting time there, down to 24 and change. Are you picking some up in this area, or just waiting to see what's going on with the reconstitution there, the in and outflows of the different names?
I'm waiting for the constitution or the rebalance first, and then I'll probably buy some.
Okay, great, good. ICLN guys, Mark Roberts, Sun Lake Strategies, thank you so much, my friend. You're always giving us new names and new insights with a lot of knowledge. So I know that we all appreciate that, and so do our viewers. The stock father, ladies and gentlemen, Mark Roberts, Sun Lake Strategies. Thank you so much, my friend.
Have a good day.
All right, guys, let's go to upgrades and downgrades. A couple of the apparel makers on here. We have L Brands, Abercrombie & Fitch, both to the upside. UBS liking both of these. 2.84% in the pre-market here, so possibly worth having a look at that group today. This Paychex to the downside today. Earnings aftermarket 2 days ago. We saw this thing moving yesterday. Wolf Research not liking that one. Everything else not terribly exciting so far as upgrades and downgrades goes. Guys.
Thanks a lot, Brendan. And I mean, L-Brands is a fantastic looking chart. The caveat here will be, we talk a lot about day trading, and I'm going to get to CCL in just a quick second because I have a couple of longs off of the 29.10 level here. One worked, and we'll see what happens with the second. But L-Brands, it's a great looking chart. I mean, I look at this top. It's primed for maybe a bit of consolidation in this particular market. We're gapping up here and getting into this 64.30 high. I think it's got a pretty good chance. We talked about sort of the reopen. You talked about the stimulus. The other look is some strong sentiment when it comes to the consumer and online spending, whether or not there's going to be some bumps coming through the summer, which makes a heck of a lot of sense to me. So there's lots of names to look at. As a matter of fact, 29.10 just broke, so I'm out of the second leg of my CCL trade. We'll review that when we go over that particular name and that space. Going to be an active day today in some of the movers. I don't like L-Brands I wouldn't take a breakout trade in a stock that has that little volume. And, you can see 14-cent spread, maybe a little bit bigger at times. But the key number, it's tough to see here, guys. It's less than 100,000 shares of total volume with 40, 50 minutes to go. In that particular case, and I don't think it makes a heck of a lot of sense to take that breakout when you might not have the volume to get that initial push through. When you like to buy something like an L-Brands for a day trade, you're usually looking to see if you can pick up an iceberg if you're really, really lucky, get in front of a secret or a hidden buyer, or maybe catch a bit of a dip. And I think if it gives you those chances, the market shows some weakness, that would be a space that I would lurk into for some bottom picking, more so than trying to hunt these breakout type plays, although it is coming right through that high at 64.30.
The only thing about, so I love that segment with Mark Roberts, but Brendan, the problem was now I'm thirsty because that Caesar would look real nice right about now, but that CZR, I got that joke. Someone said they were thirsty here in the chat. That's that. I just got more into XL fleets here. It's going to be on our watch list, so we'll talk about this when we get there, but I bought a little bit at VWAP, bought double the position down here. That's why you see. And again, this is the thing about our show, we keep getting respect on Twitter, and it's been very, very humbling for sure. But I don't have a problem telling you that's half the position that this is, right? And so you got to sort of build into your trades, and you can see by my average price where we're at. I'm going to get some out at 9, and then someone just asked me, hey, where are we going to get out? I'm just going to use this 8:30, yesterday's kind of lows as where we're going to get out. I think it's a big news story, and we'll get to that with Brendan in a minute.
Yeah, we're going to jump right into the watch list. Guys, if you haven't done so already, make sure you take a second, head over to that link, and register for the absolutely free to you every single day watch list. We talk about all the names that are moving in the pre-market and why. You can register with an email, Facebook, Gmail, whatever you want. And once you log in, you can have a look at the watch list every single morning, guys. So let's jump into what is moving around here this morning. We'll talk about Beyond Meat. I feel like we haven't talked about Beyond Meat in quite some time. BYND higher this morning. They released more details as far as what they're planning on doing with a Chinese expansion. So building a manufacturing facility over in China to speed things up and get things going in that market.
Yeah, the other thing about Beyond Meat too is let's not forget that Beyond Meat's a bit of a recovery play too. I mean, as restaurants start opening back up and people get those butts in those seats, it's going to open up a lot of opportunity for expansion for them down the line. And going into this market is certainly going to be good for them. Look, you're going to tell a pretty good story here about looking at the daily chart, and sometimes you have to be able to look past when a stock has come back. The way that Beyond Meat has. Look towards where the support has been. We're entering what has been a pretty good cluster back all the way to November in this 135 range. Nice support off it. Every time it gets breached, it tends to find some support after the fact before a bit of a jump off. So that's the key point. You really want to see a close. Actually, you want to see a close above that 135. That would be fantastic for me. And I'd like to maybe grab a bit of a long idea on a failed break. I mean, Beyond Meat's going to have a spread. If it tests the level, it's likely to break it. So if it breaks 135, that wouldn't rule out the long position for me today. It could come all the way back, maybe break that 135, hold yesterday's close at 134, and then simply be a re-entry off of that dollar price area and a secondary push to the upside. I don't love the breakouts recently, and on the thin name. So the 140 is probably not going to be too much in play for me. I'd much rather be playing off of either that 134 down. If we never test it, I think you look at this 136 here as a first look, maybe a smaller position there. But if I dig into any selling that comes into Beyond Meat, it's going to be using that 134 to 135 area. I just sort of feel like there's lots of room to the upside. Each time it's made that strong move down we show on the daily chart, it's been 135 that's been the support after it puts in a higher low. So I don't see any reason why that would particularly change, and that's the level we got to work with today.
Yeah, I don't have. I mean, I'm still. I'm a big fan of Beyond Meat, and I'm still long at the close to the IPO price, 85. I think the IPO price was around 50 or 60, but I'm in at 85, and I like the name. I'm just sitting here looking at Ford. Okay, why don't we? Someone tweeted at me. Here, I'll give a big shout out to here, Andreas, on the sticky note. What's up, Andreas? If you're on the chat, there you go. You're famous, Andreas. Yeah, no Ford. Yeah, but I'm looking at it now. I'm looking now. I said so. Let's do this together. Okay, SOS still that 1 million to buy. I'm still long. I mean, I'm in the money 3 cents there. We'll see what happens there. CCL not doing anything. We thought they were going to be reporting. We'll have to find out what's going on with CCL coming out soon. And then there's the BlackBerry trade. Ford looking at 13 now. Yeah, I mean, look, I like Ford. I like Ford through 13. I don't think there's going to be any resistance there, but there was last time, and then yesterday we got to 12.98 or something. I just don't know what we're flat on the day. I'm not sure what the catalyst will be for Ford, so I'm going to wait to see. The NASDAQ is now down, the ES is now down, so we're going to wait on Ford. I did put a bid down here, 1280 though, guys. So if Ford comes down to 1280, we'll see if that can hit. But yeah, you guys liking SOS, and here we go. We're long at 92 right now. It's at 602. So let's see right now if we can't do a little mic drop action and see if Wall Street bets can get this thing going again. SOS on the move here, guys.
Yeah, everybody loving that SOS. See that imbalance there. I want to mention this one real quick. ASTC just popping up here in the last half an hour or so. 27%, little one. This is COVID-related news. So they're teaming up with the Cleveland clinics to develop a rapid COVID test, a breath test. So you can do a breathalyzer now, and they'll tell you if you have COVID or not. So that's ASTC, guys. Another little one to look at.
Definitely worth a look. I saw a lot of chatter in the chat, and you guys were like, "Oh, Neil's short SOS, Sean's long." I mean, I'm going to show you guys the range here. 7 o'clock ramp pushes into 605 on SOS. Pullback dip price into 605. Consolidation off of a flush through the top, and then a breakdown right into 605. And you get like 6 even to the short side. 605 is an easy sort of stop for me. You're able to get moves down to 90. I got some shares out at 86. That was the absolute best. But if you're going to present an opportunity there, and a stock doing over 20 million shares in the pre-market, it's going to give you some scalp opportunities. And it's not a coincidence that Sean's long the bottom end of the range, I'm short the top end of the range. That just means that we can both make money on the trade, and we both have a different out. Like I'm sure if it were to breach like at any of these lows, Sean has obvious cover. I have cover here at 605. Now, I barely have anything left. We're down literally a sixth of our position, and if it breaks 605, I'm going to be out of it. I just feel like it might not be a hold all day long type of trade. It will be in and out of this one, I think, pretty actively on SOS, just given the sheer volume that it's putting through here, guys. So I do feel like we're probably going to both be involved. I'm sure a lot of you guys are going to be watching this name in particular. It might lead the volume board for everything on our watch list.
Yeah, I'm just playing the momentum. So, I mean, Neil's 100% right there. We're just going back and forth. And it's not like, Sean versus Neil. I didn't even know that he was short. I'm just playing this. I actually took more shares through 6. So, my initial position was 590 or 591, something like that. And now we're up to 99. So we did take more. I'm looking for a breakout. I still think that we see 650 on SOS. And then, I don't know, do we get to $8 today? Let's just see. It is one of those names that, as you guys know, can go crazy. And let's just wait to see if it does. These are not heavy positions. My XL is much heavier than my SOS. You're talking like 5 times more shares in XL than I am in SOS, guys.
All right, Neil, maybe you can adjust Arun's chart there for him. Yeah, speaking of, you requested it, so let's bring him in. We're going to have a look at the overall market here and discuss what we need to be aware of as far as the futures are concerned. As promised, Arun is in the building today and has a look at the futures for you.
All right. We're just continuing off what we've been doing yesterday. I gave you guys the levels yesterday. Anything above 70 going up to 80 was a short. And that held out. I had to be patient around the 60 mark because when I came on yesterday morning, we were sitting around 60 and I said there was a little bit of buying there that I was concerned about. If we were able to take it out, then we had the chance to actually continue on down. We bounced right off of it. We went into the 70s. We broke the previous high, which was 74 something. But again, 80 was the mark for me. In the afternoon, we set up. So we broke through the 70s, kind of trapped some buyers there. But when we broke the old high, came back underneath 70, that set up the short. You were able to catch a short in the afternoon. Sometimes it takes that long, unfortunately. And that specific trade, took half a day. And that's fine. Today, on the other hand, that trade was still in play. Keep in mind, 80 is still the mark, 70 is still the level, or 70 is where I would start looking. But in today's case, I was starting to see some selling just below that. So around the 65 mark, when I sat around 8 o'clock, there was some activity that I was like, you know what, they seem to be pressing on this. So I went ahead and took a short just in front of 65. I am short. We are at, 57 and a half. I've already taken a little bit of it out around 58. And the rest of it, what I really want to see is, can we get past this area, which is around that 55 to 57 area, which seems to be holding pretty well. If we can grind, again, I saw the kind of a press, like some active sellers coming in, trying to press the market down. So I am looking for them to continue this press through this 55. If we can break 55 and stay underneath, then I think we really have a chance to get going, because think about it. We really have no red candles. This is a 60-minute chart, and we have no red candles from the day that we actually just took off from 20. So there's a lot of space to the downside if we can get going, but we do have to get through this congestion area, and I am expecting or hoping that the sellers that were pressing earlier are still pressing now.
Yeah, a little bit of negative pressure coming in, Arun. We mentioned the Fed minutes coming up later this afternoon. For anyone who might have not traded something like that, what do you look to expect from an announcement like that?
Well, the Fed minutes and the Fed rate decision is also, it's kind of tough because the initial move is mostly algorithmic. You're going to see the level 2 typically nowadays has about 100 to 200 contracts per price level or per tick. And maybe around 30 seconds before 2 o'clock, you're going to see all the bids kind of thin out because the programs have been turned off for the time being. And then all the activity comes in at once as soon as algorithms are able to analyze the sheets, the releases instantly, right? So you're going to see one move in one direction, then you might see a counter move in the opposite direction. Aggressive moves, mind you, is going to be pretty aggressive, and then kind of settles in for a bit, and then we get going in what the final move should be. So if you don't want to get caught in the wash, because reality is we can never be fast enough or fast as the algorithms, you kind of just wait it out until they've picked a direction. It seems like it's been stabilized. You see the bids fill back in, and then you can maybe determine, you know what, I want to play a long or I want to play a short. But I would just wait and not try to play the initial pop or the drop, because it's very difficult to do.
Great stuff. Thanks so much, Arun. We'll check back in again tomorrow morning and also this afternoon. I should mention that as well. Join us again, 3:15, guys, this afternoon. Arun's going to be in the building once again. Viacom, CBS. Let's go over to ViaC, active again here in the pre-market. It was so impressive yesterday, both on the volume side of things and also the strength in this stock, even as we learned Credit Suisse was shopping more big blocks of shares, trying to get rid of them, guys. There's volume being traded here, but not as much movement as of yet.
Not really, and maybe because the shopping of those blocks maybe slowed down some of the price actions. We got to this 45 to 45.50 area in yesterday's action, making that top, and then sort of coming back about $1. I'm just happy to see the Morgan Stanley avoid what would have been a significant loss. I think Credit Suisse's loss was big. Apparently, Morgan Stanley could have lost at least 2 times that had they not acted first, it seems. So a good look for them, and Goldman Sachs got out early. The first look I actually had here was like, when we knew Goldman Sachs was safe, we were unsure about what happened with Morgan Stanley, and their exposure was like, well, I could sell some Morgan Stanley, put it into Goldman Sachs. Didn't do that. Ends up being like a solid decision, but it is what it is. I really do feel like I still want to be on the long side of this trade, at least in terms of let's go back here to the daily chart. At least in terms of what I see right around, like, you look at this 47.80 area. Like obviously there was a squeeze aspect to what was going on in this particular name. If you want to go to the beginning of the year and the crazy run up that it had, so valuation is going to be tough. Is it really going to be worth like $70, $80? I'm not entirely sure about that, to be honest with you guys. But there's certainly room back to the upside. Even if you just chew right back through like to this 50, you're talking about 10% on a muted return here, guys. I'm gonna like that. And if we can get through this like 45, 50 chop area, I think today could be the start of that. I'll defend 43 for sure. You guys remember that level.
Guys, here it is, man. It's already hot dog cannon kind of day right now because you're seeing this game flying off there. Double hot dog cannon here for XL. And this is what I'm talking about. Like, no problem me telling you that I'm 5 times the shares. We pick it up right there. What up to Kevin on the chat as well. And look, someone else said here, who is it? Let me see this. There it is, VWAP Trader. Sean looks like he lost a spotlight to Arun. Hey man, I will pass this shining light to my friend Arun, and you're gonna see me and him tonight at 3:15, so join us live today when I pass the torch over to Arun. Again, a great, someone said this is what happens when when you eat beef, not plants. So we're going to find out what Arun's diet is. Join us at 3:15. We'll talk all about that as well. I hear I'm crushing some fruit salad, I think, right now. Is it fruit salad, Arun? Yeah, there it is. So me and Arun, different body types, but we're still loving the fruit salad. There it goes. It's fruit salad time, and it'll get there soon. Yeah, we just took out some XL there. We're excited. It's going to be a good day. Via C is on the sticky note. If you want to follow me, you can do that on Twitter. I posted the sticky note up on there on some levels that I like. And yeah, it is what it is. Neil just went over a few things. I like that top 48 on Via C. If I can just call it up here quickly on a 20-minute, you'll be able to see it. I don't know if you'll be able to see it better or worse on here, but this is 47.50 and 48 was right in here. The 30th of March, we got down and then we, tried to battle back here a little bit. I'm looking at that 48 break on Via C, guys.
All right, let's go to Carnival. We'll talk about Carnival specifically, but the cruise line's a little bit positive here again this morning as the reopening play continues. We learned, I think it was back on Monday, Norwegian, first off, came out and said that they're willing to say to the CDC, only guests that have been vaccinated will come on ships if they're allowed to continue to or start operating again in the U.S. Carnival came out this morning and said they're not going to take a stance when it comes to what the CDC is saying no cruising in the U.S. until November. So we were expecting a report from Carnival. We had huge move after market yesterday. I haven't seen any details on this, guys, yet, but we are 1.8% to the upside today.
Yeah, and look, we are waiting on a report, and to be perfectly honest, they're going to be pretty nimble, I think, at least in the stock today. I'm always going to prefer Carnival. I shouldn't say that. I mean, we're going to prefer Carnival because of the volume it does and the interest that it has. So that's why it's going to be the favorite for the day trade. I do look at some of those levels from yesterday's action. I'll just pull up here, like this 29.10 area. There was a move in the post market on relatively light volume. Nothing came out, but 29.10 was a bit of a dip. So I was looking to take this, and I took it a couple times. Got a long here in the 20s. Got out in front of the 29.40 for a scalp trade. It then retested the bottom. I thought if we can hold that 29.10, I'll take a shot again. Got a better price at 16, but then got stopped out for a 7-cent hit. So just to go to the higher time frame, we are getting into making a double top in Carnival. I just thought there'd be a real test maybe of that 30 in today's action, but with the report looming here today and the numbers, I don't think anyone's expecting them to be very good. So you might actually get a bit of resistance at that top. I'd love for us to push into it, into that 30 high, and then be able to play off that level. I'm going to like the scalp. I like the scalp longs if we could have held 29.10, but I'm going to have to throw that one out the window. Look to see if I can't sell this one on any strength at the open. If there is any strong moves to the downside, I would go back to this like 27.80 to 28 area a couple of sessions ago where you got this little mini break from, and then see if it finds some support down there. So those levels I like for Carnival. I want to come to Romeo for a second here because RMO, you guys might remember this one from yesterday. Bit of a mover, to say the least. I did get a decent short in the final. So you guys were watching the afternoon show. I took 3 cracks at it, tight stops, 5 to 10 cents the first 3 times, and was able to catch this consolidation at 13 and work it back down to 12.60. I love when these things gap downside. So the bottom of this move here, 12.20. You have a 12.20 pre-market high here. It broke it by 1 cent. And I managed to get myself a short here at 12 even. I worked some of it all the way up to 12.10 as well. And I've basically been just getting it on the bottom end of the range, some earlier trades in front of 12 even. So if we break that 12.20, maybe go to that 25, I'll be out of it. No averaging in the last like 5 to 10 minutes going into the open either. If it pops in that 5 minutes, I'll look to play a move off of the open if it wants to hold that or push into that 12.25. So right now, RMO got that to the short side. It's in the money for now, but this is a very, very tight window here. I don't want this. Remember, this is consolidating literally 50% higher from the bottoms from these lows here, guys. So like it's 8 to 12 even. This is a high consolidation. If it does break out from here, you're likely to at least test that higher low at 13.20. I'm not holding this $1 against me. I'm not averaging into it $1 against me. Not when the trend looks like this.
Yeah, no, that's Romeo. We're already 35 pennies in the money here on XL, and I'm out of a third right now. We'll see if we can get higher. I think we still break this high of the day. It was on here. You could see there. I mean, it's not only is it a 1-star, but it's a 2-star XL fleet there on the sticky note. I'll post my. I mean, most of you are already following me anyways. Oh, we just cracked 17,000 followers yesterday. That was a good one. Okay, what I want to talk about. Okay, we talked about CCL, XL, and I actually don't remember. Oh, this is what it was. Yeah, I want to give some love back over to our chat. Brian, like if you're a member and you're going to ask a question and I tend to see it, then I'm going to put it up. So get ready, Valeria. You might have to write a little note here unless you remember what you're. We've had a lot of Starbucks close in Toronto. So it's been a sad time for Valeria and I. But look, Brian James, how does Valeria like her coffee? So in a couple seconds, we'll throw over to Valeria and we'll find out exactly how she likes her coffee. And then you guys can super chat and we'll go to Starbucks later on. We may have to drive about a mile or 3 miles to get to one now. There used to be one on every corner here in Toronto. Look, CCL, I wrote down a big question mark because until we, she doesn't want to explain it. Until we get, the numbers out from them. Someone said 10 a.m. Maybe Brendan can confirm that. I'm not sure.
I haven't seen
when. What was that, Brendan?
I can show you.
Yeah, okay. We're going to go there in a minute, but we're just going to wait for CCL. I'm not sure the earnings matter at all. We're just going to play the momentum in the name. And look, if they come out and say something that surprises, obviously it'll be upside. And then if it disappoints, it'll be downside. There's some rocket science for you. Miss V, hit him.
Brendan first.
Brendan, what up?
All right, real quick, guys. Yeah, I can show you a couple things here. If we could throw my screen up there, Lucas. Thank you. So April 7th, BMO means before market open is when we were supposed to get the quarterly report. There is a call scheduled for 10 a.m. this morning, guys. So a heads up on that. A call coming regarding Q1 2021 Carnival Corporation earnings were supposed to be BMO before market open. Miss V.
Hey guys, I like my coffee to be sweet and caramel flavored. I also like pumpkin spice from Starbucks. Sean, what's your favorite coffee from Starbucks?
Oh God, now you're putting me on the spot. I had that almond, some sort of pistachio latte, but I just like a small. What do they call smalls? They're talls, I think they call. Yeah, just a tall dark roast, and I like a little bit of almond milk. I just got a message from the wife there. It looks like she has lost now her second tooth. So what's up to Gia there? The second tooth now lost. So I'll be going to Smile Direct soon and finding out what's going on there. But Gia, Daddy loves you, and I will be home hopefully soon. Oh, wait a minute. I'm here till at least 4:15 today with the Late Show. Join us. How was that? Was that okay segment there? I'm going to go with number 1, guys. 3 for our 4 p.m. show. Make sure you do join us at 3:15. Today it'll be Arun and I. We're very, very excited for that. 3:15 today, guys. Join us. It was a big success yesterday, and I think it'll be even better today, and then even better the next day, and then every day, therefore, forward, a better show. But shout out, Daddy loves you.
All right, we're going through the watch list, guys. If you're just joining us, welcome. First of all, help us out before we jump back into the watch list. Hit subscribe, guys. We're getting really, really close to 200,000 subscribers on YouTube. We would love it ever so much if you just took a second, subscribe, hit the notification button, and also like this video. Let's go to Hillion Holdings Corporation. We'll go to EV World. We haven't talked about this one for quite some time. Formerly Tortoise Acquisition. This is a former SPAC, up this morning. You can see 8%. Positive news. I mean, they focus on the commercial vehicle space, so positive news for them. A little bit of a smaller one, this one around $12, but it really hasn't been participating, guys, in the rally that we've seen of late with some of these other names. But HYLN popped up on volume today.
Yeah, so Romeo got a commercial trucking a deal as well. So, I mean, a related name. Like, you look at these daily charts, and I feel like this is not the first one we pulled up that's going to look like this. And Helion, look, anyways, we rounded this little bottom here. I would love to be telling you the same story that I liked about, find a bottom, get a consolidation, a sort of long, and maybe that's going to be the play in today. But when I kind of look at today's action, and I'm just going to quickly show you the 15-minute chart here. When I look at today's action, we get into this like 1240. I think if it hadn't rolled over shy of this particular price, I'd probably be looking for a little bit better of a long idea. But the fact that it tried to test upside to that 1240 range, and when you have a hard bottom like that, you already have a flush. It's trying to put in the same type of base that you think it's putting in right now, and then you get the harsh rollover. It goes into 10, double bottom. That's great. I would love the bull look if we can get above that 1240 and we can hold above there, maybe like a tomorrow close if it does it. But I see this consolidation, and it sets up really nicely for a bit of a fade. So the way I'm going to play this in terms of every single wave, if it's already broken 1170, like this little leg down here, it has to test to the top side. This is where patience comes in. Like if you like that 1240 level, the high here is like 1220. You almost have to be willing to let this buy into that range. And it's not a million shares or plus in pre-market volume here, so the volume is going to be there, liquidity is going to be there. You almost want to see the buying come. I almost want to see the buying come in before I would test that to the downside. I think if it does flush though, I'm probably going to look to that 11 point is as far as it's going to go. It's likely to catch some kind of a bid given that double bottom that got put in at 10 even. But my first look here would be, okay, well, it's been relatively weak. It's a decent gap to the upside, but there hasn't been a lot of volume buying on any of these little dips we're seeing in the pre-market. So it comes off like a few percentage points, and there aren't really a lot of buyers in the pre-market. I would like to see a buying that fails off of that 1240 level and then jump into a short position. The caveat, of course, though, I'm in SOS to the short side. I'm in Romeo to the short side. If I have like 3 or 4 small caps on, I probably would not have Helion at the top of my list because there's going to be better fish to fry there. Brendo?
All right, guys, we're talking about Carnival just out right now as we speak. These numbers coming out for their earnings. So I'll have a look through this, but just a heads up, looks like an adjusted net loss of $2 billion for the first quarter of 2021 versus about that estimate. They're talking about $11.5 billion on the cash burn side of things as well. So more details coming out. I'll come back, guys, with some more. But Carnival finally reported.
So CCL right now a bid of 260. Thanks, Brendan. I mean, if that's not breaking news, I don't know what is. I don't even see it anywhere on Twitter. I mean, Some people have it, but okay, 29.44. They just took that top off of 29.50. We don't have any orders out, so for right now it's smooth sailing. No pun intended there until afterwards. 29 bottom. We'll see if that breaks. Like Brendan said, I'd like to see a little bit more, interest in the name. It's not moving around really at all off this report. So I think that they're just going to go through it and figure it all out. So that's CCL right now. Watch out for a 29 break. We're not super interested in it yet. But it's going to be formed out. So we'll see it's happening. Let's see NCLH. Is anything happening over there on Norwegian? No, 31, not much. Pops up a little bit on there. Still the same bottom break. I actually really do think, guys, that's XL. XL, nice little out there. 23s. That was a good one, but that's not why I went back. We went to CCL again just to watch out for this level here. On a daily chart, we're already I was really thinking, if this report was standalone, I don't know, it wasn't, but $30 here, upside could get taken out. So let's wait to see what happens here. Just brand new out now. 12 minutes until the market opens and not much happening with CCL. We'll check back on the imbalance locator quickly just to see if anything changed. We still have SOS Big Buy. We've talked about that. 10 Cent Music. There's NCLH joining the party there. A BlackBerry 950 right now. Still, actually not bad. It was 3 and a bit percentage points. We're watching the 930 break to the downside there on this news. So BlackBerry, that's what's moving. And then the NASDAQ imbalances, as you guys know, come out at 928. We'll review them then, but there's never really. NASDAQ is really bigger at 350 at the close, 355.
All right, a couple of things to note here. As I mentioned, $2 billion loss as far as their Q1 is concerned. But they also said this, if I can pull this up real quick, they believe they'll have enough liquidity to get them back to full operation. Yeah, there's a lot here, but there's one quote in here that says they have enough liquidity on hand to get them back to full operation regardless of when that happens. But yeah, quarterly loss nearly $2 billion for CCL. Let's go to eBang. Why don't we? Li Auto down 4%. We talked about it with an offering this morning. We can look at some of the Chinese EV makers. eBang responded to that Hindenburg report that came out earlier in the week, saying that it's false and typical language as to when these companies respond to these things. Up on that this morning, guys, for EBON.
Up, but showing weakness again. And if you looked at when that flush happened, and of course, you guys were watching this show yesterday. Bren was in that short position at 620. There was a consolidation a little bit lower, and a chance to get in at 75. Even if you took it late, it was fantastic. I was a little bit late to that party, but if you're well dressed with a good price and you're okay, I look back to those exact same levels, and we never even broke 6 even. It attempted to. I would have loved to see like a 6 break that failed to 620. It'd give you that obvious short, but if it's going to have to be 6 in that 585 area, then that's exactly what we're going to work for here. It's 920, so we're getting into that time where we're comfortable taking this to the south side. And just to show you guys what the daily chart looks like, I don't know that you're going to get too much action. We're at 570, guys. So if you get like a 10% down to 5 even, you got to be happy with it. But there are a couple of wicks to the bottom. There are some higher lows that have already put in, and you will see this with short seller reports, right? It's not as if these usually come out when the stock is ranging at the $14 or $15 highs always. A lot of times you're gonna get these developments when they've already had a bit of a flush, and there's maybe you're already in the money or whatever, how these guys work. It is what it is. I'm going to be looking to 575, 585 area short. Give it to that 6 at first. If we breach 6, I like a secondary play off of that 620 where everything died down yesterday. And I think your ultimate target has to remain 5, but I do look back to this 520, the lower high that just held throughout the later part of our show yesterday. So that's what I like for Ebon until it proves me otherwise and gets above 6.25. I'm going to stay to the short side.
Okay, I'm just getting ready to possibly here trade through. I'm just getting some orders ready on BlackBerry here, so we'll find out what's going to happen with that one. Facebook is on. Again, it's on the sticky note. We'll go over that quickly if we can. Yesterday's low on Facebook. Facebook.NQ. There we go. Yesterday's low on Facebook, 305. What did I write down? 305.70 there. Yesterday's low, although it looks like it got a lot lower. I mean, this was basically just a break level yesterday. I don't know why I wrote down 305.70. It did dip down to that. I must have just been ignoring this. Right here is 305.70, so that's basically the pre-market low. If you break it back down to yesterday, yeah, it's right around here. Yeah, this was it right here. So this was the level that we're talking about when we broke and then we stopped. That's basically where we got out. We were defending the long, and then it went to the upside and we shorted a little bit, had some good success on the short, and then at the closing show, we were also short Facebook into this dip. So that was a good move, but it's this 305.70 level right here coinciding with what's happening in this AM right now. So I'm going to sort of just, this is an anomaly. If we hit the 305.70, we will use 305.25 as our first out, but I just want to bring it to everyone's attention. We're very, very close to spanking this right now, and there's still 8 minutes left. I'm not, like, we've already broke 305.70 and then like that's 40 cents. Like, these wicks back and forth, absolutely nothing's been happening to Facebook, and you still get 306.20 down to 305.60. So this is like 60, 70, 80 cents up here, to the bottom. So it's too, right now, I guess, whippy, or it's not even whippy. It's just the spread and how fast it moves. You have 20 cents right now, bid ask. So we're going to wait for the market to open. If it takes it out right away off market open, hopefully we'll be able to get a little bit short, but I'd rather build into a short and then play Facebook to the downside. I'm super bull on Facebook. It's just above 300 here, it's had some issues. So I'm going to try to short this 305.70, and if it gets back out the 307, that's probably where we'll be taking that out. But we'll analyze that more when we actually get into it.
All right, let's go to XL Fleet. You mentioned that one as well, Sean, this morning with interesting news regarding F-Series pickup trucks, their ability to electrify F-Series pickup trucks. So XL Fleet popping up on that this morning.
Yeah, look, I mean, it's a good trade for me. It's the 2-star on the sticky note there is XL Fleet. It's right in the middle there, XL. And we have another one. I had another star trade on there. I like that GE, and we'll talk about that in a minute as well. But okay, so there you go. Let's switch charts. Okay, so this was the big buy. This was just a small test at VWAP. We wanted, it was coming back in. We took the long at 9, and that's right where VWAP was. So I do that all the time. You've seen that success work out, and it actually did work out again. But you had to hold this a little bit against you. And all we did was, you have some of this consolidation, which isn't much. There's not actually much volume. Now it's getting picked up 3 million. But in the pre-market, it wasn't huge, but we did base out here at 870. So I just stepped up. Like I just put a bid there at 88. I got long. You see that's where we took it out, where we got long, and then we started taking them back out here at ding, 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 ding. So this position here was triple what this position was, which is why we're able to take it out for a nice little profit. We're bouncing around right now. Like I'm taking more shares if we break through 930. So that's going to be the in on, getting more aggressive. We will buy the dips down here as well. I already have bids sitting at 70, at 69, so on and so forth. And then just checking where I'm going to get out. Like, I don't think we're going to be wrong on this one, but if we are, I think we have to get out here around 850. More importantly, this 835 level. So we're going to wait for 835 to get out on XL. If we're proved wrong, then that's where it's going to be. But you see this little move up now again. I love XL Fleet. Probably should have got more there. And maybe let's put a bid in the 90s and get a little bit more. But XL, we like that one. And look, we're bringing the goods, man. Like I'm telling you the trades that we like the best. That's XL9. I know you guys like that.
Contrast that to the Helion chart's going to look exactly the same as XL Fleet. The difference being when you come to the 15-minute chart, you've already shown the willingness to trade above this 915, not stalling out at those types of levels, looking to break out from those types of levels, and that's why I like that 930 as well. Not the time of day, but that is also the open. Sometimes breakouts are better at that time. That's the reason I like the 930. If I had to defend something, it probably is a little bit closer, and I have that 840 to 870 area to the downside there if it does happen to sell off. But I got a 930 buy. It's sort of the reverse concept of a Helion, similar daily charts, but this one better news and looks like a little bit stronger for now. I like the 930 break. We're going to go to Brennan. We got to come back and talk a little bit about SOS. We'll come back to that name.
All right, CBAK Energy, which is CBAT, up this morning. Battery maker, they were just talking about expanding their ability to produce lithium batteries, so popping up was about 25% early on, but we're coming back down to pre-market lows here, 575, bit of a support area so far. This is $6 even, was a bit of a problem on that last retest. If you look at the daily chart, this little pivot on the daily chart is actually 610 to 620. So more exciting is kind of these levels up here. We'll see what happens at the open, but CBAT, guys, which is CBAK Energy.
I hate that's like XPeng and XPEV. I'm not a huge fan of that. Just make it simple for us here. I want to get to SOS just to talk about this that 605 area that we had to the top side as a stop. That ended up holding right here. I want to show you guys the gap because there's so much room to the downside. We're up 30% here. I do have a bid already, and this is what I want to see ideally happen. If at 9:30 there's a bit of a flush, I'm probably going to find some support at that 565. There's that 7 a.m. ramp up price or just before that. So I got a bid already looking to take it off for that 30-cent win or so in front of 570. 605 stop is probably going to remain in place if I get a chance for a retracement short. So it pops into 6, turns around at 931 or so, and I can go tight stop short again. I don't have any trouble doing that. We're going to have to watch CCL with 3 minutes to the open, guys. The volume's not where I would expect it to be, and it hasn't broken the range. So, it would be easy to say, okay, well, we've held it, so why not just jump right back in front of that 29? I'm not going to go ahead and do that. It's just, there's not enough trading activity after what we just saw with that report. I'm going to let this one shake itself out rather than get into position off of the open. There's always a trading shot in CCL because the volume is pretty good. So I don't feel the need to necessarily rush into this one. I think that's going to be a bit of a mistake. And then to come back to Viacom, quickly, there we go. Just come back to Viacom here. In that nice range we like, it's at 45.40, 45.50 support bottom, and then 45.75 the top. I missed a breakout at 43 yesterday. I don't want to do the same thing. I'm going to take it. I'm going to take the top off here on Viacom. When I do breakout trades right off the open, and of course, this is exactly the problem. See that one little wick here, Viacom? Someone just took it up to 46. Yeah. I was about to put my order in for a breakout trade. Am I going to pay up to 90s? No. Let's see if it wants to give me something closer to that 75 that we had before. So I'm going to pop a bid in here, and if we can get it back down around the price that we like so I can get that risk to reward, that'll be perfectly fine. But Viacom, we're going to find a way to get to the long side here with a minute and a half to go till the open. Lots to watch here, guys. And just to remember, I know some people yesterday were talking about Sundial. Yes. If it breaks $1, I am going short Sundial through $1. I pretty much always do. Every chance that goes into penny stock status, you can count me on the short side.
We like GE here, small side, 15.30. We'll see if it can break. We have 13.50 on the high side for GE. A quick look before we throw over. I guess, sorry, I thought Brett was at the screen. He's not. SOS, we did just take some more 86s there. Let's see what happens. CCL's still there. We talked about Helion as well. BlackBerry to the downside. We're looking at a BlackBerry short through 9.30. We'll see if that comes through, or short up near 10. So it's going to be a good one with only a minute to go. There's a bunch that we're looking at, man. We're looking at Facebook. We've talked about that. Looks like it'll have a chance to take that low out if we get there. GE, AMC. Oh yeah, AMC at 10. We didn't talk about that yet. Let's see. Has it broken through 10 yet? No. So 10, 11. Let's watch for an AMC short, I believe, through $10, and then we'll see what kind of action it has. It's resisted off 10 a couple times, so I do like the short there just to test it. Yeah, that's a great level, and I'm glad we got to that one too, because another name that I almost forgot to say, I am looking at a U.S. Steel here today. It made a bottom 23.50 yesterday's action, this same dip here, but I gotta go to the countdown. I like the buy in front of 23.50 on U.S. Steel is what I'm trying to get at. If I can get some 24s, I'll be all over it. We're dropping the countdown here, Miss V, in a complicated order from Starbucks. And right here to ring the bell, 2 and 1. Let's get the party started. All right, so we are getting ready and locked and loaded there. We just picked up some more XL fleet on the downside. So it's a New York stock, so we'll wait to see. I don't think is it open yet? Yeah, there it is. So it's open. So we'll see if it fades out, man. Maybe this news is not as big as we thought. We've already cashed out a little bit, but like I told you, I'm going to defend this one. And if we get hit back down to 8.30, then we get hit. I mean, this is a stock that I like. We just took another long there at 8.94. So let's see if it takes off. And it's doing exactly that, guys. Oh, I'm going to go with this action now. I probably should have held on to it. I gave you where I was going to take that out on SOS. It just came down to 570. If it gives me any kind of a pop back into this 585 range, I'm going to take the short on that. I did get into Viacom there at 81s in front of that 45.75. So that's going to need to hold 45.50 to be able to get a reload. I like 45.40s and 50s. I might park a bid in front of that in case we can get it again, but that's too far away on SOS. Let's get in there at like 575 to 580 on any kind of a pop. I'm going to short this baby again. Yeah, we're still right here. We just took our biggest position on SOS. That's why you're seeing our average price right now 78 on SOS. So we'll wait to see what that does. Okay, AMC, here we go. New position alert. We're now short at 99s. So we'll see how far this one wants to go down. I don't know, man. Does it have potential? Sure, it does. Who knows how far, though. AMC touches down there 995, 996 before retracing back to the upside. Again, we're not going to hold this till the cows come home, but we do like AMC short where, again, you don't want to hold this because if it starts running, we know the damage that can be done. So what about holding this till about right here, 10.15 or so, 10.17, 10.18. Let's see if that one works. There goes XL, baby. You want to talk about something. Bang, with the big stick comes out. We told you this. This is the thing. You wanted sticky notes. You want the trades. Start it up, man. 9.30, a big trade. We like it so much, we get more. That's what happens right on this side. A beautiful trade for XL, guys. We're banking already, one time daily. Let's go. There goes Romeo to the downside. It just broke this 65. I took some shares out there. We're shorting in the 12 range, showed you there. Just got an 80-cent winner on the second leg of those shares. Those day two plays, don't sleep on them whatsoever. You know they can be good ones. That's exactly what we had here. So I'm going to hang on to the short, hang on to what we have. I'll probably also short pops back into that previous low, 1165 to about 1180. If this one wants to pop, I'm going to get back into it. But Romeo, where far art thou? Day two. Love those day two plays. Where art thou? SOS time right now. SOS just ripped City right there. We got some out at 6 off that move. So a big win for us on SOS, guys. Bang, right to the upside. Here we go. Let's see how far this one can go, man. We're huge today. Everything monstrous right now. We just need AMC to go. There goes, I mean, look at SOS. Clean that one up, guys. Big time trading there as we continue to barbecue up the profits. I posted on Twitter yesterday, me barbecuing. It was a great day. We had some chicken chicken drummies yesterday. The kids liking that. So that was really tasty. But SOS right now to the upside. That's a big winner for your boy. And then XL right now still chilling out to the upside. What a great day, man. One-time daily goal, and adding to that right now, looking at 2 times right here. Let's go.
And I'm just going to get right now US Steel in front of that 24 area. I also picked up XL. Remember, I like that. I like the 925, 930 breakout. I just scalped some out in front of that 950. But US Steel going to start that defense in front of 24 even. The futures are now green side on the ES, right? So the S&P 500 has turned positive, although I'm still watching the NASDAQ track negative. What's that order there? That's a keystroke. I don't want to bid at $15. I want to bid at $24.15. So going to get some more shares of US Steel as we try to defend that bottom there. And I shouldn't be long SOS. A bit of a keystroke error. I still had a stop in. This will happen to you from time to time again. You have a stop in through that 605 and a hold 605 and didn't have the short. I'm going to get into that position and have to just pay the spread and get out of it. Sundial, just to get back to you guys, monster bid. It's 2.5 million. Sorry, check that. 3 million shares on the bid at a 1 even. I'm all over this one if it turns into a penny stock here today. It's done 10 million in volume. So that's going to get chewed through really, really quickly. I'm all over shorting Sundial through 1. Brendan?
Just saw Albrand's guys pop up on volume here. We mentioned it with an upgrade today. Initial sell pressure, though, through 64, immediately down to 63. We're back below some of these highs, prior highs on the daily chart for LB.
Oh, man, we forgot to look at Facebook. AMC, we just took a little piece off at 10. We're still holding 2/3. We did take some 95s there on that downward print. So we'll wait to see what that does. What's Facebook doing now? We wanted to look at it again. Okay, so Facebook, that's fine. No problem. We did have yesterday's low there at 305. I wasn't going to take it, but now we're ripping to the high side with Facebook. So I love the name, but look at the NASDAQ, man. We are coming to the downside right now on the NASDAQ. So does Facebook continue to hold this high or not? Let's see. What was yesterday? Come on, let's go, charts. Yesterday, 308.50. That was a good short. Let's take the short right now and use it off 308.50. But right now, guys, XL, like, forget about everything else that we're trading today. I mean, I gave you this exact level and told you how much I liked it. XL Fleet making your boy a lot of this right now. We just took some out at 55 as well. And SOS, ho-hum, this is another 20-cent winner. So, I'm going to wait to see how far this one wants to moon XL. Let's take off one more piece, but yeah, what a great morning this has been. Should be shorting Facebook right now, too.
Yeah, just watching this reversal here, guys. I'll get to US Steel in a second, but I think that's starting to calm down off that 24 even. I got 20s alongside. EBON, I forgot about this one to tell you guys. I was shorting this one in the 70 range. I did get the fill right off the open at 72. It never broke out through that sort of pre-market level, 78 to 80. I just took some out for the 10-cent scalp. Low of the day is 550. I will take some more shares out in front of that particular price. So we're going to work back into Viacom as well. Initial trades. From now on, whenever I take those pre-market trades and some of these movers, I have no trouble. Like the first long, we're going to be able to get some profit in front of 46. I couldn't break through the second leg on the dip down. I'm just going to take it out. Does it hold the bottom? Yes. So I want to get back in after it holds the bottom. That's what we do. So I am back into this trade 45, 46. Just more willing to take these things out when they start to go against you and then get back in if you like what you see. So limit the amount that you're going to lose on a position like that and see if we can't get back in front of that 46 where I can start scalping it for the 40, 50 cent winner. I said we could calm down a little bit in US Steel after it held that bottom at 24. We'll take some out when it gets to VWAP here. My price is 20s, VWAP here at 30. So once it gets 10 cents in the money, I'll start taking some profit all the way up to that 24.50 where it reversed. Brendan?
There was an upgrade on UAL this morning as well, guys. Morgan Stanley raising that to equal weight from underweight here with a $37 or 65, I should say, price target up from 37. So UAL just ripping here out of the gate, guys.
Wow, is that ever ripping? Yeah. Wow, a big time move there. We're almost out of our SOS, and yeah, made that cash, guys. Good trade there. We're happy. I mean, our last couple outs right there, past view up 94, 88, 96, 602 off of the big position down here at 70. So we're starting to fade back down a little bit here, but I'm going to hold on to SOS and just see what happens with BTC and whatnot. XL just continues, man. I don't know what else to tell you. I even tweeted out here early, guys, today that XL Fleet right now was my most recent buy. Where is it? Here it is right here. Look at the time, 8:08. We just bought some XL, 872. I'm long XL Fleet right now. So if you followed me on Twitter, you would have maybe bought with me. I don't know if you would have or not, but I like that name. We identified it there. Valerio will drop the Twitter in the chat for you guys soon. So there goes XL. I'm going to hold it, but we're already pretty high up on this name, so we'll wait to see what it does. BlackBerry, we did take the bottom there. Again, any kind of breakouts, we don't necessarily put huge positions on, but I am going to average into this one now that we're into it. So 945, then we'll take some 960s. I wanted. Look, I'm going to believe this name is not going to be going up today based on this news. I actually think that prudent people that are long might take an opportunity to get out. So we'll wait to see. I could be wrong on this one, but right now it's been a big day for us. We'll continue to celebrate these wins, guys. And BlackBerry, hopefully just another one going to the downside.
Yeah, and here comes, right off of 11 is that Romeo. So we got about $1 in the money and then resisted 11 even. I'm not going to look that gift horse in the mouth too much further. I'd like to extend this, maybe take that buck up, but certainly there was a level on the higher time frame down there that I do have to pay attention to. I talked about Viacom and the idea here to be able to get more shares back in, which I have done. I'm willing to average into this one off of this like 45, sort of 44.90, 45 area bottom that it's put in. So dig into the long the second time through. If it takes this out here at 48, 45, 85 or so on the upside, I'll take some more profit and then work in and out of that one to that long side position, which is working out. I still have some XL fleet, but I think Sean's gone over that one. So I'm going to go back over to EBON. For those of you that were watching this yesterday, of course, there was some crazy action on it. Today, and I like these sort of more calm plays like day two. It's basically flat on the session now, but I'm able to take this range that it already made in the pre-market right up here to 575, right down to 550 like we just said a couple of minutes ago. So hopefully this can flush all the way through the low of the day. I'll take a 550 break if that does happen, maybe add to this position in addition to shorting some pops, which I'm definitely going to be doing as well.
Like, guys, I mean, this XL, this is a monster. Like, look where we just got out. I'm going to put this one back on Twitter for sure. Up 18%. Not only that, we're long in our own personal accounts. We talked about that, $1 now in the money. Hey, let's take that off at some point probably. Ford. Yeah, big position alert down there, 1280. So that's our average price right now. We take some 82s, some 80s, some 78s. I'm going to hold this one until here. Here's a 20-minute chart. You have the bottom right around here, 1260 and change. So we'll see the action if we get down to 1260. We'll see what happens with Ford downside now. I don't know. I think we'll be okay with it, but we'll wait to see if Ford does get down there, then we know what to do. So we're going to be watching out for Ford down to 1260, but I still do have, visions of at least 1290, maybe 1288, something like that on Ford, I think is pretty reasonable. This is just going to be a quick scalp. We won't get too many more shares unless we do wind up falling right down. So we're going to wait on that one. AMC, though, now to 94s. I don't know where this is going to go, man. We did get a little fill down already at 94, so we're bidding down there. We'll see if we get more. But AMC right now, a nice little trade on the short side. A couple longs, a couple shorts, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, EBON goes through that 550 bottom, so we took some out. We got back in on that price. So now 52 is going to be my average price. We're low at the low of the day. I took off that UF steel. I'm with you, Taiwan Bigums. I like 2350. We talked about that support level. I like to get out and then look for a better price potentially. And before we get to Brendan here, Viacom on a bit of a rebound trail. I said I would take some out in front of 46. That's what we did. It never gave you the dip buy, which I'm going to do now again in the 40s. No waiting for 45.20 for me. Brendan?
2 days in a row here for this Murdic Capital, that SPAC we were talking about yesterday, taking tops public. Just popping back up, some volume coming in as we broke through 1150. Top end of the range, though, from yesterday, if I zoom out here a little bit, getting into some resistance here, possibly for MUDS, guys.
Muds, yeah, that was, what was that SPAC again?
That was the tops.
Tops, right, they had the cards. Yeah. Okay, so AMC just more out at 996. It does look like it's going to go, guys, so we do have some more bids layered in here. We'll see if it gives us one more shot to the downside. Probably a good out. I'm still going to wait for up here, but you know what? If the momentum goes, we probably do get stopped out of this position. So if you don't want to be, a little less aggressive with AMC and you're switching your mind up now, or, this is not a horrible spot to get out. It's not really trading properly now. It should have already tanked, in my opinion. So I'm going to get a little more work out here on AMC and just grab it out. Although now it's coming back down to 10s. Let's get some out at 01s and some out at O's. So there it is. We'll take a little bit more off that. Okay, Ford is dropping down a little bit. We do have some more bids lower. We're going to use 1265 as our out. So be it if that does happen. And then BlackBerry, I mean, it went into the money 3 or 4 pennies, and now it's out 3 or 4 pennies. So maybe this is a non-event. Well, obviously it is, but we'll wait to see where the action takes us. I'm now thinking that, yeah, we're just going to wait for this 965. If that comes through, we'll take one last fill, and then we'll see how high this thing wants to run. It's not going to have juice, I don't think, to like burn us on this. So I do like the short. And since it's have kind of a tight range on BlackBerry, I'm just, you know, I don't think we go back down to yesterday's close, but right here, 915, gets them out at 920, and then we'll rate around at 915. If that one can be profitable, then we will take that. So far, 4 positions. We've taken money out of all of them except for BlackBerry, so we'll wait to see where this one wants to go.
Yeah, the Capulets win here, Romeo. Look, I'm not going to sit here and say, don't look a gift horse in the mouth, and then stare at this 1120 again for a second time on Romeo and not take it out, guys. I mean, it already bounced off of 11 once, and there's no reason to get greedy with that trade. So we get the last out here at 1123. It'll be like 90 cents instead of $1, but you really can't be that ridiculous. And then you don't get married to an even round number when the price action was telling you something else. So if it wants to pop back into 1150, I'll jump back into this to the short side. I'd much prefer getting that 75 to 80, but that ship might have sailed, guys. So I'm going to go ahead and cancel that offer. I can tell you that Viacom, I did get the dip back in again. So right into that 45-40 range, if we can start to base out and hold a little bit higher and get some consolidation, I'll add to this position. Room to double up here on Viacom if we can get consolidation first. It's made a range. It looks like 46 is some resistance, but that means you can scalp a 25 to 40 long and make 40, 50 cents at a time before maybe we get that breakout we're looking for. Brendan?
Nomics, guys. IDEX, one we've looked at many times on the show. Not a huge move, but volume worth noting here. Big volume through that last little high there from yesterday. We're getting into some resistance points on the daily chart. They appointed something called a new chief revenue officer. I didn't even know that was a thing, but Ideanomics has a new chief revenue officer, guys.
Yeah. Chief Revenue Officer, very, very important role. Yeah, we got to watch. I mean, I need a Chief Revenue Officer for my positions as well here because we're trying to negotiate a good deal. So Ford does come down. Like I was waiting at 72. I switched my price to 75. So if it does come back down, we will get some more 75s on with Ford. This is a name that I believe in. Look at NASDAQ starting to go back upside. S&P starting to go back upside. We could check out GE. I didn't put any orders in for this one. Well, I did actually on the downside. We have, 37s. Did that even come close? No, not yet, just off the open. So GE goes to that 50 level and it does not take it. So it takes 53. We got to wait for this to pull back in. Not sure. NASDAQ going and some of these other names lagging a little bit here on a NASDAQ rip. So if you guys like what we're talking about, you can see Facebook. And the thing about Facebook was it's on our board right here with a little note. Yesterday's low, 305.70. So if you took that, I mean, right now you're in the money, $3, but NASDAQ continues to go. I did like a short off this 850. I'm not sure. Maybe I'm wrong here. Maybe the NASDAQ does continue to go and we see new highs for Facebook. But I am going to test it now. We're going to start a short into Facebook and then hold it against ourselves, hopefully not, until 309 just to prove us wrong. We'll see if that happens. Wow, there it goes right to 21 goes BlackBerry. So that stock turns into a winner, but we don't take any out as we, of course, were waiting at 21 and just never got that fill.
CCL finally making some moves here. The volume picking up or creeping up and touched just shy of 30 here. I'll take a VWAP pull back here if we can get it at like 29.60. Maybe we scalp this one off like 29.60s into that 85 to 90 range. Still looking for that 30 break. We showed you guys the daily chart before. We'll show you just one more time here. This is that top 30. It has broken some resistance of 20 cents above it. So it looks like it's going to be a good level. And I want to be fading into it. Like if I can take the long off VWAP, we'll get it out in front of 30 for sure. Brendo?
My attention was elsewhere, but probably should have been on Li Auto this morning because, wow, that was a great opportunity. 24 held there in the pre-market as support. Big flush off the open here, guys, through 24, straight to 23.5. Big offering announced, if you missed it, after market yesterday for Li Auto.
Oh.
Yeah, we saw that on our notes, but I have not been into it. We'll have a new position alert right now. So where's the siren? Let's just hit the siren. Where is it? There it is. New position alert. So we do finally get into Facebook. It's now 12 cents in the money. We shorted right there, 307.93. So let's see if it fades back down. So here goes Facebook looking to make moves now, breaking down lower, lower, lower. Here it is, man. Here's a nice little dollar winner for you on XL Fleet. Now busting through 10. Like, I'm just glad I'm long in my own account, to be honest with you, at that 872 mark. But right now, 996. It's too bad. Like I'd log in and get some out now if I could. I've just made a hell of a lot of money. I actually just made more money on my personal account than trading, but we can't get out. So we'll wait to see on that one as we go. So Facebook, 37 cents in the money. We've averaged in, hells yeah, on the average in right now on Ford, as that goes right back into the money. We're long at 1279. It just touched 1280. Maybe we shouldn't celebrate that. We thought that one was going to rip, but now it's stopping out. Look at XL, guys. 10 now? Jeez, what's up, B?
Just checking out Tesla, guys. Tesla applying for a permit, I guess, to construct the world's largest supercharger in California. So we heard about one of these going into Texas going back a month ago or so, but now they're moving to California with one of these superchargers as well, guys, for Tesla. Not a big reaction there. Initial weakness for Tesla today.
And I want to go to GM in a quick second here, but I want to show you Viacom bouncing off of that 45.20 area, and now going to take some out in front of that 45.80. Like we said, rinse and repeat in this price range as often as we can and anticipate that breakout. Going to take you guys to Miss V, CCL right at 30.
Hey Neil, Square is the name from the chat. Stock is up around 3%. Back to you.
Square. Sorry, Sean. I don't know if you want to take that one, but CCL right here at that 30 mark. I got to be on this stock. Sorry.
Yeah, no problem. CCL Rip City here, guys. Look at XL, just continues to go. Now 21%. I just tweeted that out, guys. Follow me on Twitter. I hope. Let me know in the chat if you guys took that trade at 872 when we did tweet that out. So that's a great one right now, man. The NASDAQ continues to go up. We maybe should have got something out there on Facebook, but for right now, not really moving to the downside. I mean, that was almost $1 we had there. We should have probably took that. Let's wait to see if that does happen again. Well, I'm going to put a bid around this 307 level and see if we can't get out something there on Facebook. Damn it, I was bidding 21s. Here on BlackBerry and only got to 22. I love playing those levels, but right now I am waiting to get more short at 40 here on BlackBerry, although this is a decent spot. Let's average in right now on BB here. Actually, maybe it comes to 40. Let's wait to see, but I'll take a little position now. Oh no, here it comes, 38. Let's take some 38s, and if I get filled 40, then I'll just have more shares.
And this is a big-time battle being waged at this 30 level here. Just sort of, it's not even about size. Oh, thank you. And I have to change this manually. We go CCL. It's only New York, of course. There you go. So it's not even a lot of size on the offer here. It just popped in some 99. But the evens, not much of anything. But you're just seeing it refresh and refresh over and over again. I tried to just slip in some shares like a second ago. I was trying to show you guys level 2 there at that 98.99. Once it looked like the battle was going to be won by the shorts. I still like the dip into VWAP here. But this is why I don't love the breakouts. And I like the dips a heck of a lot better, guys. Because remember we showed you 30.20 at that high fail break a couple of sessions ago. The same thing looking it's happening here. It only went 1 cent altogether. Brendo?
A big mover from yesterday, guys. Roku popped up, if you remember yesterday. Huge move back to 360. We're coming back to that high. There it goes, just breaking as we speak. Pre-market high and high from yesterday on Roku, guys.
Yeah, I talked about that in our afternoon show. I said, have a look at Roku, as that's a good possible runner here at second day move off nothing yesterday, right? Just a breakout. So, okay. Damn it, I should have cleaned that out, that BlackBerry. So now we're just going to see if it takes out this high. If it does, we'll get out in the 70s. But up to 965, I'm trying to take some more short coming in right now on BlackBerry. So we'll wait to see if that one can go. Great if it does, bad if it doesn't. All right, so Facebook right now to the downside, hopefully, as we've averaged in now on our Facebook trade. Our last fill comes at 0820. So I think we can park another order maybe in the 90s here, 0790, just to take some out. Our average price now 09. We'll take 20 cents on a third if we can get it. Who knows? And then if the market does continue to crash to the downside, then I do think that this trade has a lot more in it. So we'll take out a little bit now just so we put some kind of profits in our pocket. We saw Facebook yesterday. It was like our only loser. So, today, it's not that I'm back for revenge, although I am. We'll wait to see. You never want to trade a stock on revenge. It has to be set up properly, right? So we're going to wait to see if this one does come through. There I am. Here we go. I'm bidding literally, as my kid says, where was I bidding there? 9? Did I get filled? I did get filled, so thank God there. I was bidding 90s, and I didn't know if I got that fill. So there it is, a nice little filler. That's 20 cents right on that VWAP. Let's see if we tank down a little bit more. 307.30, we're going to put a bid there, see if we get picked up at this low, guys.
And I'm back into SOS off of 560 level, but I want to show you guys, this is that couple million, 3 million or so shares on the bid here of that sundial. Yeah, you know I'm going to have it, so I'm going to be all over this one if we get a shot to take this through one even. It's not a guarantee that I'm going to get the fill, but it's pretty much a guarantee that I'm going to get the fill. So there you go. I never try to be too precise about those things, but you never know what's going to happen. Romeo on a monster move to the upside. Now remember, never look a gift horse in the mouth, right? Make sure you take your profits when this thing gives you a chance to do so. It takes out that 12-15 area. This is what I was shorting off of this morning, all the way back to the upside. Remember what happened to me on that ACY? Never leave offers out. You don't want to get trapped up in this, but I learned that lesson and said, why do I never go long in these? Anyone that shorted that little pop into this is getting blown out at that same level. It's a quick little scalp long. Actually, I'm surprised there's no follow through. I actually just taken 2/3 of it out on the break and was saying that maybe we can get through 1250, and then there was 0 follow through. So I'm going to scalp in and out of that one to the long side. Exactly what happened to me on ACY. Leaving some orders in after a stock has gone in the money for you on the downside, and then when it comes up, you get short at that same level blindly when it just ran 10% into that move. It could have halted on you. But the breakout long has worked. I've seen it. That's how you lose on a trade to the short side. So quickly in and out of that one. We'll take the money and run. Still got to watch out for that sundial because I really don't want to miss this one breaking through $1. It's not there yet. It might take a while for it to chew through that bid that I was showing you guys, but when it eventually does, look, if it goes 5 cents, I mean, that's going to be a solid move, and I think it can go more than that.
I mean, as if XL Fleet, guys, like, you want to bring down the money. I mean, guys, look at this. I mean, XL Fleet just continues to make moves to the upside, and there we go, man, taking out now 1050. Like, if the... Damn it. Maybe I just should log in and not let compliance see and get out of my trade because I'm long 872 and I'm long 894 right now for you in the show. Up $1.50 now and continuing to make moves, man. Wow. Facebook as well. We could take this out right now in the 50s. Maybe that's a good idea. Let's just put a bid here and take some out if we can, and then we'll wait to see if there's any more downside moves. That's me on the bid. There it is, man. Yes, sir. The money today come flying in on these names. All we're waiting for now is BlackBerry to do something on the downside. We've averaged into that one. AMC as well. Short. Those are just little outs. It's not going to be profitable. I'm just letting you guys. Well, it is. I'm up on the stock. Just letting you know that we're waiting for some 90s to print on the downside. Give it to him, Bren.
IPO from yesterday, just ripping this morning, guys. This is another LiDAR sensor maker, Innoviz, INVZ is the stock here. You can see we debuted yesterday. Didn't really do too much, back and forth. But yeah, big move here so far this morning. 11 straight through to 12, up about 10.5%, guys.
There are some smaller IPOs that have been making some strong moves lately, guys, that we have to pay attention to. So I'm not going to sleep on any of these when they start going to the upside. I mean, I almost feel like after what I saw yesterday in that, what was the name again? That UTME. That was completely bonkers. But INVS is going to be the latest of the bunch. I mean, if it wants to come all the way back and give me like 1130, I'm going to be all over it. I can't get my eyes off CCL, and it's too much of a battle that just got won to like 30.05. So I have to try the long. This hung out at 30 even.
Oh no!
Like just for like 5 minutes, just chewing back and forth through 30s, guys. So I'll give it back to like 29.90. See if I can't rip into this long at around 30. I got 30.04. I'll try to get my price. There we go. 30.01. That's a more reasonable price there. Leave myself some room. If this is going to be a break, even if it stalls out at 30.20, it'll be worth the scalp. But that was too long of a battle to not have this long.
Yeah, I'm long right now, and yeah, we're cashing in on this one. Go CCL. Let's just continue to rip City through this 30.10, 30 and change. We are long CCL right now, so let's just see. I mean, really nothing on the upside of CCL. You can see here, this is the daily chart. We just broke out. So here we go to the upside, man. If this is not like a big share position, then I don't really know what you're doing. Breaking through $30 there was huge. I'm just glad that we noticed it off this day. Here we go. Yes, sir. That's what it is. It's money-making time, Neil. Let's go.
Yeah, I mean, this is why we try to show you guys the level too. I know some people might have access to it, some people don't, but what you saw there were just iceberg orders flipping back and forth. And when you see that many shares changing hands, you know there's somebody loading into a monster position there. And anybody loading into a short, when it finally broke to 05s, and you saw that live here, guys, was going to give you that opportunity. So, look, you're going to take some out in front of the quarters? Yeah, I'm going to take some out in front of the quarters. This failed at 30.20 last time. So when it gets to that price and breaks 30.25, that's just a place to add to more shares here. This is post earnings. This is breakout on the daily chart. It's a little bit of everything here, guys.
Come on, Ford. Like, this is going to be huge, guys, if it keeps going. And, you know, I've just been cleaning this out here, up, and away as we go now on CCL. We'll try to hold the rest, man. Like, I'm out of more than 50% now on CCL. This is a big move. We'll just continue to see how high it goes, breaking these levels now through 30 and up, and away on CCL. So a great opportunity here to trade this name. So we're almost out. Now I only have, unfortunately, just a third left of the position now, but let's see if this one can get to 30.50 maybe as our next spot. So that's what's good right now. We did clean our XL. I think we need to get out now in case it just breaks back down through this 10. So 10.50, this has already been a monster trade for us. We're still holding this. We're at the highest spot we've been at all day right now, guys, and what a good one this has been, man. That was a great idea this morning on CCL and on XL. So both names, here we go, man. Just keep on ripping to the high side. Our Facebook, what a great out that was. I mean, these are ding, 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 ding. Let's see if Facebook continues to go to the downside. This has just been a fantastic morning, guys. I hope you're enjoying it, and I hope you're making money as well.
Yeah, I mean, you're not going to see opportunities like that every single time where it's that. Obvious is not the word. I just noticed, sorry guys, that sundial ticked up, and I'm actually considering a bit of a long position just to literally take ones, risk a 1 penny, and then see if it can't make a bit of a bounce here, because that was such a monster level. I actually added to the position on 25 break there in CCL, so 20 was my, 15 became my average price. I took some out, the next 10 cents up here, that 30.35. I'll take more out in front of 30.50. Look, it's not often you're going to get a chance to see a move like that, and certainly the way it played out was fantastic if you're looking for a long break.
See ya.
It is already 10. Wowzer, time is flying, CCL is flying, Brendan's at the big screen, happening now.
Hey guys, yeah, 10 o'clock. Let's have a look at North American markets here. We'll check out pretty flat session so far. This is why we look at the stocks that have some sort of news. We are basically dead flat on all of these. The S&P, the Dow, the NASDAQ even, the 100's positive. The composite basically dead flat. As I mentioned, down 0.01%. The Russell negative today, 0.4%. Here in Toronto, the TSX about 0.2% to the upside. Couple of things we were talking about in the pre-market to keep in mind. This EBANG. EBON did give up, I guess, at 550 there. Was kind of watching 550. It was a bit of a level late in the day yesterday for EBANG International. Good volume, though, on that one again today, trying to move back to the downside. And yeah, BlackBerry right here, right now, at these highs from the pre-market. Still very strong, showing a lot of volume at the top end of the range, guys, for BB.
Oh, it's not at short to pop range yet. Yeah, I mean, it got to 965. So, I mean, I got to look to that level on BlackBerry. I just missed my shot there on SNDL. And I try to quickly say to you guys that you get a level like that on the bid, which is just like a few million shares. Yeah. Are you kidding me? A level that's that big. I'm going to see if I can't show it to you guys again here, guys. There we go, sundial. If you get a level like that, it's obvious support. I mean, you can slam a bit in there at 01s, and I try to get it there. Just to even take like 2-3 cents is going to be fantastic for the amount of shares that you're able to get here. Still am, like, no matter what, I'm going short if it breaks a buck. But if it wants to hold a level like that, you get 01s long. I mean, give me a break. Like, that's a day trader's kind of, I almost said wet dream there. It's a dream. I got literally... Look, I got 1/5, not even 1/5, like 1/6, 15% of what I was trying to get at 01s. I moved my order to a reverse model gateway, so I'm willing to pay for the fill here at 01s. Haven't been able to get it yet, but the target is literally get some out at 2s, 3s, 4s, and 5s. You're just trying to scalp this, and it's all over that short no matter what. I'll get back to Viacom in a second, but that's not really moving. Thought it would be more volatile than it is. A bit of a disappointment in Viacom, even though it's a winning stock.
Okay, guys. We're rocking and rolling here with a lot of different positions right now. Facebook did go 70 cents in the money on that one, and we didn't take it. So now I'm thinking, I mean, we did have an order out here. We just should have kept it there. So I think we'll put one there again just to make sure. But our CCL trade, now it's at 41. Guys, we just tweeted out that we made a big trade there on it, and it's even getting bigger and bigger, guys. So this just keeps on growing to the large side on CCL, and just, when you believe in something, that's what happens. And unfortunately, we did take too much out at the quarter, but we need to take a little bit more out right now on that name as it's trying to go as well. Other than that, I mean, not a whole hell of a lot happening. We are averaged now into Ford. We did get that 72 bottom. And again, as the NASDAQ continues to rip, some of these, like, industrial names, some of the more, value names, I guess, if we can include Ford into that, tend to get hit a little bit. So we'll see if Ford can't get going at some point. But my average price is right here, 77. I may take a little bit off because, this theory may not be right today. But there we are. We're at our highest spot today as things are mooning for me right now. CCL going, BlackBerry coming back down to earth. Let's take off a little bit there as well. But, I mean, what a fantastic day here. When you believe in trading and you've got it, that's what you do. You put your money where your mouth is. That CCL trade was just monstrous for me, guys.
CCL, going to go to that 340 range. I'm going to get some out, of course, in front of that 50. It's going to be the name of the game. We talked about that scalp trade. Ebon, I got to come back to you here. I know Brendan just talked about this, and I tried to pick some up on the rollover. You try to get on the way down instead of the way up. This is what's going to happen. It turned around at 555. I tried to add at 555. 556. I tried to add at 555. I missed it. It is now on lows of the day. I'm going to try to short pops beneath 550 because that feels like it's the only way that I'm going to get back into position on this particular name. So it is what it is. You're going to miss out when you try to be passive, and the cheaper stocks, you might want to care about that penny or two every now and then. I said Viacom was falling asleep. It's basically forming like a little bit of a wedge, right? So last time it gave you the dip into 45.30. I tried to slip some in there after I got out for that 40-cent scalp. Now it's putting in a higher low again. So if it wants to go and form this little wedge here, I'm not going to be adding into position on that. I'll wait for a breakout if that's what it's going to do. So as much as it's still in the money, I'm going to hang on to the shares that I have for a 46 break. And ultimately, if it does get tighter and tighter, we're looking for that 46 break to add to the position here. So Viacom's still on the radar, guys. Brendo?
Just double checking that this was correct. Yeah, it's 80 million. Wow. UTME is what I'm speaking of. So we're now at $70. This thing debuted yesterday at $4. So a big move to say the least, but already halted a couple times again today after this halt fest that we saw yesterday for UTME, guys.
So the good news is it costs like almost $2 a share for us to short. If you paid that, that is the least of your problems if you went short this thing. I don't know. To be perfectly honest, I can't trade this one. I mean, if you... Like for the way that I'm looking to trade, especially post-halt, I mean, the liquidity is just not there. So for all these halts and all this activity, it's like 900,000 shares in terms of volume. So I always say, like, you have to have some limits in terms of what you think is worth it for the risk to reward. For the style that I would look for on these types of plays when they've gone up like this, I just got to say no mas. And if you're in the money on this, congratulations. I mean, it just doubled overnight after coming from even a triple up yesterday. So if you're not happy with that profit and don't look to take it, I'm not sure what the exit plan is at that point. So it is what it is. I will show you that sundial. I tried as quickly as I could to tell you what it looked like was going to happen. I slipped my bid in there at 01s. When we price a midpoint order, it's going to price to the best bid. I am actually offering the mid. See if I can't get something at 102 half. I have a 103. If I didn't get the full position at 1 even, so as it just ticks down, I'm still looking to pick up some more shares at 1, and I'm still going to go short if it breaks that price. But it's going to be Scalp City over here in sundial. It's on 35 million in volume, which is not as good as it would usually do when it trades like this. So maybe not going to be as active. That's why you have to have a tighter range. I want to come back to General Motors. Where was the 62 flush when I was making only 20 pennies on it at the end of the day yesterday? Here's the 62 flush. It gives you actually $1. Market holding up, basically just barely positive. You're going to see a higher low in front of that 61 even. I'm going to jump in to see if I can't pick up a long off this level here in General Motors. You got the low of the day here. It's only about 20 or 30 cents away. Get the long in front of 61. I'll just pay the spread. Why not? Let's get 61.12s here. I'll add to it if it gives me the better price. I want to be patient, get a price closer to 61 if I could. And then if it only goes to VWAP, you're getting like 20 cents of a return. I'd like to see us get to that 61.50 for sure. But bottom pick here with the market running and GM trying to bounce off lows, yeah, I'll take it.
Yeah, we're already into Ford here, so it's off the low. It's on the lows right now. So we're well invested into this one, and we'll just see, man. If it breaks through 66, we will be in trouble. I'm debating taking some off here because it just hasn't worked. So that's why we get some 76s. We're not in trouble, man. Our average price is 77. I mean, 4 cents down. Even if you have a couple of thousands of shares, you're not really in trouble with a couple cents. So we'll wait on that one. Brendan.
One from yesterday, guys, just popping back up here. Day highs for Snapchat. We tagged $60 up there. Another 5% today for Snapchat.
Yeah, Snapchat's ridiculous. We love that name. I've been all over that name as well. We're very, very light on XL, man. Like we have like 5% left. We were just waiting to see what happens to the upside there. I mean, we honestly, man, when this got close to 10 and we're long at 890 there, we just, we covered a decent amount there. And then this was the big cover right there at 10.05. We just saw it break through. We're like, we're taking it. We should have obviously taken more at 10.50, but we'll see if it gets back to there. I mean, good on us. BlackBerry. Okay, so this is the story. We averaged in at 950. That was a great trade. It's now just coming back down. You see the average price that we have, 39s. So we are now back into the money, and now we wait for BlackBerry to get back into this area, 34, 35. Take some out as this company just keeps on coming to the downside. As expected there, I said if anybody was able to take profits, they probably would on this name, and it looks like they waited for it to get to 950. Where's my bid? I'm bidding 935. There's the fill. I mean, here we go, man. I mean, even stocks that aren't working for us eventually start to. So let's just hope that stays the truth for Ford, and we're able to get out. We just did, like I said, man, 73s, 74s. We're just taking some out piece by piece here. I just don't want to lose my day if anything happens, so we are going to wait on this one. But right now, Ford doesn't look like the strong name we had hoped for it. We're still near the high of our day, man. As CCL continues to run, we're almost out of that one. BlackBerry now 5 cents in the money. And then AMC, I've sort of just left this because we've already got out of the majority of this. Let's just wait to see what it does upside at 10.14. This might be a decent short up here. Brendan, again? What's up?
Sean, I think you were looking at Facebook this morning. A little headline just coming out there, 10:05, I guess it was. They're adding Zoom capabilities and GoToMeeting to their Portal TV for FB, guys.
Yeah, I mean, that's huge for Zoom, I would think as well. I mean, maybe even bigger for Zoom. Let's go over to Zoom and just have a see if we are right on that one. Yeah, there it is. So nice little move up for Zoom there, Brendan. From 321 straight to 331. Look, you want to play with the big boys, battle up, man. I mean, Facebook, we talked about buying this one or at least looking at it off that low of the day. It happened too fast in the PM and the AM, so we didn't get it. I'm showing something to the camera right here, guys. Who's over there, Robbie? Yeah, so there it is right there, guys. Facebook, 305.70, yesterday's low. 308.80. So I'm still short. Like, I'm still short Facebook, though. 308.17. It's gone in the money for us. This might be something for me to change my mind. So we'll try one more short up here, and then we'll get out through 309. This is a little bit of a game changer. So you know what? Actually, let's just, we didn't expect that news. So let's change that around and maybe just get out now before this continues to rip up even higher. But right now, Facebook taking out looks like new highs here on that news.
Yeah, and just going to give you an update on Viacom here, guys. We're going to go with the power up, and why not? I saw a big offer there at 46. I'm going to dip out of the shares. Look, you give me that 50 cents. I still like the breakout. I'm going to use an aggressive stop through 46 to go long. Going to buy that dip. It's trying to break out that wedge, right? So if it puts that higher low in again at 45.30, I'm going to be okay with it. It might be, and we'll see if the bottom pick on GM with the market running is going to be the one that's going to be a bit of a burn, but it's holding that range. I said I liked a little more shares here in front of 61, so that's what we went ahead and did here. Sometimes you go up and pay the spread. Leave yourself some room if you wanted a better price. Either way, you're sort of splitting hairs with that particular name. CCL, a bit of a pullback. Now, I just threw my stop in there to basically get out around break even of the average price. So when I took the shares out on the way up to like 27, and then I added on that 25 break, my average price turned into 20s. I take it off, and I always do this if it breaks at 50s because I'm looking for retracement back into VWAP in 30, right? So I want to get out and then get back in on a 30 VWAP trade. I like that 30-50. Of course, it's going to be a level on its own. Play those quarters, play those 50s, whatever it might be. Still going to do the same thing over there on sundown, but I want to show everyone SOS, which continuing to the downside here. I'm going to get punked at that 555, 6 or 555, 560 area as it continued to flush, and I got chopped out of it. Now watch for 540. Looks like a bit of a level forming here at the bottom end of the range in SOS. It's still up 20%, so plenty of room for it to continue to run.
And look at that, man. We go money, money, money. We spin it around. Like, we're talking real trades here, guys. I told you, we're out of our Facebook. Then we punched along through 309. Bang, Facebook. We wanted some revenge. Revenge taken. We still need more money, but there it is. Big time mover on Facebook, guys. Given to you from 305.70 off that low. And then we go short, short, make that money, make that money. Basically get out for flat. I mean, well, not for flat. We lost about 30 or 40 cents on that last one. And then we rip to the high side now. I mean, look where we're long. Facebook long, 309.05. That's $1 in the money right now on Facebook. This is $1.20 in the money right now on XL. CCL, this is 35 cents in the money on CCL. What else do we want to know? Right here, how about BlackBerry? How about a dime piece in the money right now on BlackBerry? What else? I mean, we have everything on board. Ford, okay. Not doing anything, but we're getting out. We're surviving the Ford move right now. And that's about it. So right now, all winners on board. We're at our highest spot we've been at all day. Let's just see what happens now. All we're waiting for, really, and not all winners on board, we're waiting for Ford to get going. And if that does go, then we will be a happy camper. But what a fantastic day it's been today. We're at our highest spot all day. 2 times. Let's just keep on rolling this, guys. Facebook, we've already just celebrated that. Let's see how high this one wants to go. All-time highs, right? What is the all-time high on Facebook here? Let's just wait to see if I can double check. I will get that for you guys in 1 second because it's obviously on my board. 311.35 all-time highs on Facebook. Let's see if we test that.
Yeah, and going to show you why we took that profit on Viacom here, a 46 area. Flushes to the downside, now retesting the low, so we get to buy the dip. That low of the day that held, a 44.90. I didn't even give it to that the last time through. We saved ourselves like 50 pennies by not holding through. This is why I like those breakout plays. Tighter stops on those breakouts because of the way they've been trading, and then look to buy those dips. So if it breaks that 44.90, we'll have that, and we'll have GM to see if it breaks through the low. Those are going to be the two that would essentially stink to the downside. But you know, I still like that E-bomb. We're still in it, but that SOS, I got to come back to this name. It's not gonna be far away from my mind all day long here, guys. That's what it's gonna be all about. It's trying to pop through that 540. If it holds that bid, you have to think it's going to make a test back into like that VWAP, that 565, 65, where I'd say I bungled it before because I only gave it 5 cents worth of a stop. If I get that 60 to 65, I'll give that to the 75 area this time. So I'm looking for that little dip. It's 21s that I have long in Viacom, by the way. I'll take some off in front of VWAP if I get a chance, but I got to get back to this SOS, and I'm going to short any pop that it has into it. It's been relatively weak today and looks to continue that trend. The other name here, we did look at, I think we did look a little bit at TMDI. I'm not sure if we did. Apologies if we didn't get to that one. But I'm watching this interesting bottom here. Now, the bottom in the pre-market, a little bit lower than this level here at 210. But if 210 goes, I'm all over it. Viacom just took the low, so I'm out of that one, guys. That's why you rinse and repeat. Take the profits where you can. Have tighter stops when you get back in. But here comes... So there goes that TDMI, right? So I wanted to get that short through 210. Just picked some up there at 208. Didn't have a stop order, allowed it to trade through. But get that bottom break on TMDI, a bit of a retracement play here. Not sure if we covered this name, but a new one to the list. Brendo?
No, little one moving here, guys. Odonate Therapeutics, a little tiny microcap therapeutics company. Big move here from 340 to 450 in a straight line after full year earnings beat. Guys.
I also want to note one thing, guys. I'm pretty sure, and the last I checked, we were like 198 and like almost 199,000 subs. There's a bottle of champagne, which has basically been making me thirsty the whole time. So thank you guys for getting us near to that finish line, like 1,000 away. Fantastic. The backflips action. This is for you guys here, and thank you so much. Looks like we're getting there by the end of this week, and we'll be sipping some of that bubbly, Sean.
Hell yeah. I mean, I'm sipping bubbly anyways after this performance today. But yeah, guys, hit that subscribe, hit that like, hit that share. I mean, everything right now, everything is just moving for us in an amazing way. CCL just bang. I mean, this is a fantastic trade. We just took some more out at 55 there. This one continues to run, man. Facebook now $1.02 now in the money. $1.02. Let's try $1.15, $1.20, $1.25. Let's just keep on going like an auctioneer all the way to the upside. Let's go. Just keep it running. And then here goes XL as well. The party just started on this name up to 10.50 again right now. So that's another $1.50 in the money on XL. We're cruising 10 cents in the money on BlackBerry, but I do have visions of much lower, like 9, like I mean, I think we can get to 915, but we'll wait to see. 915 yesterday's mark. We talked about that right here, 915. So we'll wait to see if it can get to that. But other than that, man, I mean, everything just making moves right to the upside. We're getting out a little bit more forward there at 75. I'm going to cancel my other side to the high side. We'll see if it can't get back going. I mean, everything right now. We're at 3 times now daily goals. So just run the hot dogs, throw them around. I mean, this has just been a big, big day. We have tons of winners on for you. Let's just keep the party going and see if we can find more. But big day, big success. I hope you're having it too, guys.
And I want to come to an idea that you might not be familiar with here, but that we can do at least. I mean, I just took that 01 on sundown. Now, I remember I couldn't get it before when I actually gave you the winner, but something I'm able to do here is get in and out, flip some shares. Remember, I like the short, so I want to be able to flip some shares here over and take some shares off. It takes out 01s, get paid a rebate to do so. And every time it picks up, I'll throw the bid in there. I'll get long, but once it goes against me, take out half, because I do like that short, mitigate the amount that you lose, and it's only 1 penny ultimately, guys, so it is what it is. And I'm still going to go short. But mitigate the amount that you lose, get back in, see if you can't take that spread over and over again every single time. Now, I did just jump into that. I still got GM. We'll get back to that in a second. I did jump into that TDMI. I've added to that position since through that bottom. It's actually consolidating off that 210 break. So I was able to get 08s another time here. So you're seeing a little bit of consolidation on this particular name. Viacom tried to hold the low. It's still off that little bit. It got downside to that 44.90. I don't want to jump back in unless it's back above that 45 even price. But just going to show you guys GM here. This was the bottom pick. We had 2 bottom picks. I actually love both. Viacom and GM. General Motors a little bit more calm. With the market moving to the upside, it's a little more likely to follow the overall market. So that's why you're probably going to see a bounce here, whereas Viacom is showing a lot of weakness. It's going to move to the beat of its own drum. I'll always take some out in front of VWAP. I'll always take some out in front of 6150. If we break that 50 level on GM, I'll be all over it, guys. And I'm going to make sure that we get any kind of a push. I think some stops would probably trigger off that have shorted through that 6150. I think maybe that can get us into that 65 range, guys. So as much as we just took some profit off, we'll give the fist bump pound there. Bottom picking on this particular name when you see the market go. Gotta be wary of the fact that it could roll over at 50s. And if it does, I want to take some more profit. I want to be buying some more dips. As long as we hold the low, I want to hang on to that long. I wanted to get more short on that EBON. This is my order here at 547. Goes right to 547, hangs out for a couple of minutes. I do not get the passive fill. That's just part of the game, guys. It's all in the game. That's how the market works. You're not going to get everything you want. If I had been aggressive at that moment, sure, I could have got 46s. Didn't do it. From one small cap to another, let's go to Brennan at the big screen.
Hey guys, yeah, small cap time, lots to get through. Let's jump right into it. Yeah, Helion, we mentioned in the pre-market here popping up. You can see little tiny move on some positive news, but this was a little bit tricky. I did take the short initially out on the break of the highs, but it did give you a lot of opportunity to get back in and out, in and out, in and out as it was chopping around. Between 1250 and this 12 area, we're now breaking back to the downside. So long scalps work, the initial short, not so much. Pretty much a flat trade at this point for me. This one, SOS, definitely not a flat trade. This is a great one. 6 to 610 we mentioned in the pre-market, all the way down to 510 now, about to break day lows here on SOS, still grinding. There it goes, day lows right now on SOS. Let's go to ASTC, another one. This one I took actually 2 shots at this morning, 1 short here out of that, took the long as well out of that. Even with those 2 losses, this short made up for all of that and then some. So a nice move to the downside for ASTC and CBAT. Stood up here right before the open and told you about 6 I mentioned. And then 610, 620 above that. Didn't even come anywhere close to that. Just a straight flush all the way down to $520 move on CBAT. Guys.
Straight flush. And we're not talking poker, although I love talking some poker. I know you guys, look, there's going to be people watching this UTME. I know it. It is what it is. It's now halted at 94. So look, you can slap yourself in the face for not being long. I've said it before. You know, if I had tried to short the statement, I'd already be blown out. Like the minimum you're losing, try to short that consolidation is like $5-10 per share traded. So is it going to turn at some point? Yeah, if it cracks 100, I'm probably going to double check to see if it's still really expensive or whatever the price might be to be able to get to take that short. Because when you start to think about retracements that turn to the $20 or $30 range, suddenly it looks a heck of a lot better paying that $2 a share. But we're not quite at that point yet. It continues to halt to the upside. It's absolutely crazy. That stock is complete nonsense. I'm going to reload on General Motors if we get the chance back around that 61 area. So took some shares out in front of VWAP. Whenever I do that, it's with the intention of getting back in near that bottom. So we're going to rinse and repeat the action on GM as many times as we're able to. Still going to be watching that sundial, of course. I'm not going to get too far away from it. And CCL, like I said, I took mine off thinking we'd get that VWAP retrace. Still have my bid down here. It just rejected a 30-50 breakout. So if it gives you consolidation, it's not a bad idea to grab along at 50s if it can hold above, maybe break out at 63. I'm still waiting, and I'm going to have my bid in front of that 31, sorry, that 30, 10, 30 to 15 area on the pullback. That's where you happen to see VWAP entrenched. TMDI, looking to add some more shares to this one. Consolidate at that 210 area, looking to try to push. That's not enough to shake anybody out, guys. So if it can only break back up to like a 212, 215, that's a reason to get into more shares, in my opinion. Of course, the second I say GM, I'm trying to get more shares down in front of 61. It pops 20 cents in the money. So I guess I'm not going to get that add to my long.
Yeah, we're not worried too much about 20 cents with Facebook right now, as that's taking out highs. 211.35, the new high on Facebook. $1.50 in the money. $1.60 in the money right now. $1.60 in the money. Okay, I thought it was going to go higher. But look at XL Fleet. That continues to run, man. I'm $2 now in the money on my pre-market buy, and almost $2 in the money for you guys here as well. And then look at CCL. Like, you know, step up to the plate, CCL. We did that, and there's the big trade right there. Bang into the upside, out 60s, out 50s, just clean, 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 all the way up. And I mean, that's really... Brendan, what's up?
Was just going to help you out, John. A note just came out from that conference call, guys, so just keep in mind with CCL, the conference call is still going on. The comment was very simply, they're going to stagger the introduction of ships building back into operations slowly, not just flooding the market with a whole bunch of ships. So yes, it is still going up, but that conference call is still going on, guys.
Yeah, I'm just playing. It's just funny because Brendan, it always seems to be like he has the breaking stories when it's on me, which is good because you guys don't want to hear me talk. That's useless. Thank you, Brendan, for that news. I'll try to give you guys the winning trades, and he will give you guys all the information that you need, watching pretty much everything for us, every market, every stock. So if you do have any specific questions, make sure you put them there in the chat, and Valeria will get to them. On that note, look, I'm just letting all my winners ride right now. I'm 3 times my daily goal. It's only 10.20. I'm super happy. I'm super excited. And I'm even more happy right now as we'll go bang with Square. My last buy on this one, and again, and I tweeted this one out for all you guys as well, was 212 or 208 or something like that. Square with a monster move up. I know Valeria brought that to us earlier. I wasn't sure, now that I'm thinking about it, you know, was there news about this move up? But it just took out the 50-period moving average. This is why we're long, man. We see this consolidated bottom. It did go against me. I mean, it went against me about $10. Like, so that's why I think I am around 212. That makes sense. This is like the breaking spot right there, 212-ish. So that would make sense that I got long in here. It doesn't matter. You can check. I've tweeted it out anyways when I did get long. But now 248. Let's see, man. Square could take out the highs again pretty easily. So look, I'm a Bitcoin lover. We love Cardano moving to 120. It's still upside right now. And then Ethereum just took out 2,000. So that was a good trade for us for sure. XL, man, just look at this move. We got long down here early, and it is still making moves and still undefeated champion today. XL up to 1080. Okay. And then CCL, our best out, was upside 1060. Facebook right now looks like when we were just celebrating there, that may have been the high there, 310.60. So, you know, we're out, you know, got out there, went long right there. Someone asked on the chat, why is he celebrating? Because look, in, out, right? So I had one piece left. That came out right there as planned, right? Right there. We heard the news from Brendan about Zoom. We got out immediately when we heard that news, right? So change in strategy, change in idea. Then we notice, I mean, I just marketed into this, a break of 302. We actually get a good price. What am I long at? 06 or, yeah, 05. So 309.05 we're long at. So we market that in. We get out instantly in the 30s. We get out again at 65, 67, 68. And then we let it ride up. So right now we have 20% of this last last position on, and we're just holding it. We're going to see if it does take out the all-time high of 311 and change. I'm just debating putting an order right here. I mean, what's the difference of 311.35 or 310.60? So let's get an order there in case we do get that bump up. Super happy. I haven't looked at NEO. I'm going to do that when we get back.
Yeah, I mean, I'll get to GM in a second. If it gets to that 30 or 40, I'll take some more shares off. Now 105.50 on UTME, so that continues to hold to the upside. I checked in, and it just got 50% more expensive, $3 a share to short for us. Look, it's not going to be worth it for me, in my opinion. I think if it gets any crazier, if that drops down a little bit, I'm going to be all over it. I told you I would rinse and repeat in sundown. I'm going to maintain the long position above $1. So every single time, I'm going to add to it at 1, going to offer out at 2s, 3s, 4s, all the way up to 5, and then just rinse and repeat half the position and just churn through a bit of a rebate here at 1s, and whenever one goes, I love the short side still. GM works, E-bond, no reload, but that's going to stick in the money about like 10 cents or so. Once it goes through the low of the day, I think we'll take some more shares off. Brendo?
All right, a couple things to pass along. Square, first off, there was a KBW price target raise, whoever that is. So KBW raising the price target to 281 from 250. And then, Helion ripping today. There's this one as well. Go EV, guys, with a huge move from 9 to 1075. Bit of a pullback here, but Canoe up more than 10% today.
I'm going to say I see you here. I can't find, I was looking at, I thought it was Forerunner. I tried to, it is it's for Space Runner. What's up? PaySafe. So let's have a look, man. I mean, this is one of the biggest stocks that I'm in on my swing accounts. We talked about that over and over again. I told my friends that this one needs, and I told you guys, you're my friends, so that this one needs probably a month or two to get going. I mean, I don't really know where I'm coming up with that prediction. I got to find out when they do report, but we love some PaySafe around here, and especially I do. BFT, formerly known as, now turned over to PaySafe. You see Square rocking and rolling. Like, just wait, guys. I mean, look, you get your money wherever you want it, but like, I'm going to be as open as I am. I tell you when I get into trades, when I get into them. Like, I don't bring it up after the fact. This PaySafe, guys, is a trade that I'm in, and I'm ready to rock and roll with this thing. My average price is a little bit lower. I've been buying BFT. I mean, I don't know if will PaySafe. I don't think our charts won't show it, but hold on a second. Let me see if another one will. Yeah, here it is, PaySafe right now. This is, again, what we were buying. This is old BFT, right? So it didn't do too much. We got as high as 1950. Who knows? That's during SPAC crazy time and just crazy time in the market. This is end of January, right? GameStop was like $10,000 at this point. But right now, you're seeing it bouncing off. I was actually able to get some, no word of a lie, 1274 on this move to the downside on BFT. And then we recently bought, just before it merged, we got some in. And I think that was like 1520 or so. So my average price, we've been liking BFT for a while, is in this range between 13 and 14. So we're in the money now, but I'm not selling until we get at least above 20. So if you're not in now, for me, you're not too late. You can get this now and then get it out, hopefully, when we take out new highs. What else is happening? Oh yeah, this is happening right now. Facebook, do we get out of this, guys, or do we hold Facebook? It's right back to its highs. You know what? Get out of it. I'm going to cancel this order. We're going to wait to see if we get upside of 310, man. This is already $1.50 in the money to go with this $1.50 winner, to go with this 50-cent winner. I mean, what a great day this is. Brendo, give it to me.
It's been a great day. It's been a busy day, guys. Coming up in 45 minutes or so. Yeah, stick around. Don't go anywhere. Great interview. This is an interesting company if you're into plant-based foods. Plant & Co. coming through in about 45 minutes, 11:15. So stick around for that. I'm keeping my eye on AstraZeneca. There's some details coming out from the European Medicines Regulator. Apparently, they have been able to tie AZN's vaccine to that blood clotting issue. So a heads up if you're watching AstraZeneca shares. It's 10:30 though. Let's get a check on Europe. Miss V is watching what's going on over there.
Hey Brandon, Europe is mixed reacting to the pullback in the US markets. Recent UK market debuter Deliveroo Holdings is up more than 2% in its first unrestricted trading day when retailers were allowed to trade. Back to you.
Yeah, huge move for Deliveroo, along with all of the other ones. Takeaway, Just Eat, they're all higher, guys, after some retail investors finally got their hands on that one.
Yeah, I mean, look, the structure of Deliveroo was a little bit different, of course, and so retaining voting rights and retaining control of the originated stock. It's actually nothing crazy, but some investors hesitant to get in. It finally found a bit of a bottom. GE, and we talked about this pretty openly, guys, and we'll sort of power up for this one here because we talked about getting out in front of 6150, right? So take the next leg out in front of that, anticipating you might have a bit of a turnaround. Now, I think it's trying to form a bit of a wedge here. That's why I'm going to step up the bid into the teens or back into the teens at least. Instead of taking 6110 to 6105 we got last time, I'll pick some shares up in the 15 to 16 range if we get this little dip. So rinse and repeat. G's off the lows. The market is still pressing higher here. 0.2%, 0.3%. But remember, we started off slightly negative overall. So I like the chance that we can get back to the upside in this particular name. I'm going to do the same thing over in Sundial, so it's really nothing too crazy to see. But I want to show you CCL rounding out the top here. So let me go ahead and cancel this bid. At this point, like I said, you're going to get that little battle at 30.50. Can't seem to break out past like 30.65. From here, I anticipate we're going to get it. May not come to VWAP, but I anticipate we get a shot to get a dip into 31.20. I'm going to go short off of the high of the day. It's going to be a very, very tight stop here. Only going to try to risk 5 to 10 pennies at absolute most. And if we can get into that 30.25 range, I think we can get out. It's at like 2.5 to 3x type of a move. If you capture even half that, not too bad here. But it's a similar battle to what was waged a little high at that 30 level that we're talking about, but not quite the same thing. What you were seeing at that price level was particularly right at 30 even. You had that offer show up, get smacked, buyers would step up, just huge shares churning hands at one particular price. This is more of a chop fest going back and forth with no obvious sort of area. I'm going to give it to like 65 to the top end. It's the first short we'll have all day long on CCL. But you got to be willing to trade both ways if you're going to be active on a stock like this, where it's always going to give you scalps. Multiple times throughout the day. You can change your opinion 100 times on CCL. It's going to give you those opportunities.
All right, guys, there it is. We'll go diamond hands because finally it feels like we have them now. And we've been doing some work. I mean, I like to hold things a little bit longer now. And here we go. We're holding our last 20% of Facebook as it's now up to that 311 spot. So whether or not we get it out now or not, I'm just super happy with the way this trade has come in. And I just hope that you guys can have this with us and just enjoy some of the fun there. I'm debating getting out of XL. We took a little bit out on no, I didn't. I thought I got hit. No, I didn't. I'm offering 77s. Thought I got them, but I didn't. So we're going to wait for some 77 prints. What am I using there? Boss X. Okay. We'll see if we get filled out on 77 there and take that profit if it can go. That'll be a good trade. We're long at 74. It'll be a profitable trade, but it needs to get, there we go. Nice little, okay, we'll take it. Bulls kicking, hopefully. Back upside. As I was going to say, I don't have any more offers out. Let's see if it can run now. We've defended it pretty good down here. We did take some profit, or not some profit, some risk off in lieu of profit. And I just wish we didn't, but, I don't have that crystal ball. Although today I'm feeling pretty crystal ballish here. And I'm not going to change. I mean, and that was a good short by Neil looking to go short on CCL. I only have a small piece left. I traded with pretty big shares here. So that's why you see all of this come out. Like I have less than 5% left now because of all of this top action. Most of the outs were right in this area here, guys. 50, because I don't trade, like that's how I trade. I trade around the quarters. So when you, whoa, okay, that's not good. When you see, get out of here, you lips. How do I delete that? When you see this kind of action here at 50, that's generally where I get out, like in at O's, out at 50 there. So with less than 5% on this one not much to worry about. Ford takes out the high. CCL coming back in. We just talked about that. And here we come back down now. BlackBerry with a 7-cent winner. This needs work. I mean, like we took some out here. Not a profitable trade. If we can get back into this area, we'll be running profits back on BlackBerry. But so far, so good. What a great day it's been. I'm at my highest spot right now, guys.
You know what I keep thinking about BlackBerry? Remember the day we tried to short on our earnings? It was like, it made money, but it just never felt like it was falling as far as it should have. And I can't get that out of my mind, to be perfectly honest with you. If I wasn't smiling a second ago, had nothing to do with CCL, I took a sip of my cold coffee and was like, that is not good, so I got to refresh this at some point. Either way, CCL does get a bit of a round out. I take some shares off 47s, 37s, some down here at 27. So it's like I have a 48 price, and it's like, Sometimes I throw these bids in the middle between the 5s and the evens just to sort of get picked up. I don't think I'm going to hold it all the way to VWAP. I showed you guys this like 30-15 area where I got stopped out of the last of my long ad. I'll definitely get it all out in front of that. So bit of a rollover type trade. It's more of a risk to reward thing than anything else, than wanting to say, oh, like for sure CCL is going to reverse and it can't go up for the rest of the day. I'm like, no. I just saw the resistance over and over and over again through that top. You get that 30-50 trying to break. The risk reward through 30-65 was too easy for me here. So grab the short trade there. I said 47, 57, 58 is what we got. So you're risking 8 to 10 cents tops, guys, and we've already made that back. So can't be a losing trade unless I do something really, really stupid like keystroke into more shares or reverse it, whatever. So we're good to go on CCL. Going to go back to that TDMI in a quick second. So round it out, got full position. 10.5 is my average price. Brendo has something for us.
Day highs for the overall market, guys. One of the groups helping push this market back to the upside, the banks. Here's JP Morgan. Just popped up on volume as well through 153.50. CEO Jamie Dimon talking about the overall economy in the pre-market this morning. Not going to affect the stock, but saying that this run on the economy should last right through to 2023, guys.
Yeah, 2023. Why not 2033? Like this is not. You know, it is what it is. I mean, there's so much money sitting around on the sidelines right now. There we go, man. And coming out of my mouth, apparently, with this next one there. There's Ford, right back to VWAP, man. We're playing this one. We're holding some of this back to the upside, and we're just going to wait to see, like, you know, big time winner on Ford right now. It needs to get a little bit higher. Like I said, we did dump some shares off there. We were being way too cautious here. You know, market back up to highs. So, of course, Ford goes. We're only up 0.19 right now on the market. So, on the S&P, 0.28 on NASDAQ. It's not like we're going too crazy. And there it is. You want to talk about giving yourself some props? Let's go to you guys as well today. There's Facebook. We just talked about getting out on Facebook, and that's the out right there, man. 311. Like, it does touch that 311 a couple times. It's just too many tops, too top heavy there. Very, very similar look to that in CCL. So, you know, too top heavy. We got out, and now we save ourselves about 50 cents from where we got out. So, good trade there. Happy with that performance. BlackBerry coming back to the downside. I'm still just sitting on AMC. I have no idea why I didn't get more short. I was talking about getting short at 10.17 or 10.15 even. Not sure why that never went through, but we didn't get filled. So that, you know, we'll have to hold it. Ford now going, I thought it went through 80, but it went the other way. That's still moving. What's up with Rocket right now? I saw someone say something, but I don't really see anything going on. So, not much. Wait for this break of 23.05. Rocket takes off at some point in the next couple weeks. So I like Rocket. I'm still long about 21 in the swing account, and I want to hold that. I was lucky to get some out at 27 the other day.
Yeah, I mean, you have to watch some of these stocks that are flat on the session, but like showing some signs of breakouts. You want to watch for those, especially for the afternoon. We talk about power hour as well, so make sure you're tuning in for that 3:15 to 4. You guys are gonna love it. I can't be there today, but Arun is gonna be on with Sean. I think it's a fantastic opportunity for you guys to see that closing action and some of these stocks, how they play out in the second half of the day. We're not the second half of the day yet, but SOS is back to that 7 a.m. support level just before 7 a.m. 565. I tried the short, didn't give it to 565. Ridiculous to short 555 and not give it back to that level. It's a little absurd. This time I do grab it on the rebound here. I got it at 62. I'll give it a little bit more room into VWAP here, but if it consolidates any longer, I got this little wick pop into 62. If it consolidates, I'm willing to take shares at a lower price. That's not the end of the world as far as I'm concerned. Going to be going in a quick second sector watch, but just letting you guys know, consolidation happening on CCL. At this point, now that I've taken some profit off, I'm going to give it still to that high of the day. I have not moved my target. If were I to get filled at 30.30, I'd actually move my stop to this 50 area, so none of it can turn into a losing trade, but not quite there yet. You guys are going to the screen for Brendan and Sector Watch.
Hey guys, yeah, as said, a bit of a mixed day so far for the S&P 500. We are positive on the session. Just 0.2% though to the upside, so you can see pretty checkered filled board here. These are all the cruise lines. I'll show you that first. If we spin over to this side, consumer discretionary stocks leading as far as gainers are concerned again today. CCL, RCL, NCLH leading the way. 4.5 to 6.5% in positive territory. So a nice look for those. This is L Brands down here, 4.5%. I mentioned a couple of upgrades, price target increases on L Brands, but number of other retailers and apparel makers in here kind of offsetting that and then some. Back to the downside, eBay 1.5%, TSCO, there's Etsy as well, 1.7%. AZO there, BBY here as well, down about 0.5%. So overall, that group is pretty much, or this retail group, I should say, is pretty much flat. Wanted to talk about the tech stocks today because PayPal, FLT, CTXS, and GPN all helping to offset some weakness from the hardware equipment makers and also ENPH over there in the semiconductor group. You can see to the downside, but FFIV, TRMB, and TEL all down about 1.5%. So again, kind of flat overall for the tech group. Far corner, energy stocks are positive despite these red ones up here. Material stocks a little bit negative on the session. It's been the story of the day. Here's Twitter, worth noting, 2.7%, having a nice day today. 0.2% though for the S&P. Back over to Sean.
Yes, sir. Thank you, Brendan. Great, good recap there. You forgot to mention PaySafe helping out some of those moves, and I just kid. It's only up a little bit compared to Square and PayPal there. But yeah, I love that space. I love the fintech. You guys know that. We've talked a lot about fintech here on the show, and some of the names I love. PayPal was my call of 2020 at 108. Was my call. So if you were watching back then, hopefully you made a little bit of money on that call, as I know, whoopsies, I have. So I'd like for you guys to as well. You don't have to take every trade that we have, but right now I'm just looking at the board. What do we want to talk about? I mean, we have a lot of positions on board here. CCL, that was good. I know Neil had the short at the top here. I don't know if he still does, but we will wait to see on that one. I'm going to hold this one. I have less than 5% left, guys. So CCL right now, no problem here. I think it does go back to the upside. I'd rather reload like around VWAP 310 if that can come through. I'd be mighty happy with that. Don't know if that does come or not, but that's that name. We did get out some more here, 78s on Ford. It looks like it did resist VWAP. Would love for that stock to be a little more profitable than it's been for me today, but we probably will wind up losing on Ford, even though I like the name, and it's such a small loss compared to the wins that we've been cleaning up here. So we'll wait to see. Something else is just moving for me right now. What is that? I don't even know. Oh, BlackBerry now 10 cents. Yeah. Okay. So I just made a money. So that's why I was like, what happened? Fill there on BlackBerry, 939, 938 we just got off of our short at 49. So we have shorted that back in. Breakthrough VWAP. I still think, we've talked about this a little bit today, if you don't recall, but BlackBerry, I still think 930 comes through at some point here, guys.
Yeah, and I'm going to sit right back down here, go with the whiz action on that on SOS. Like, look, you make a mistake on a stock, and there's no way, other way to say it than the 555 short that I gave 5 pennies is ridiculous. You know, the upside that you're going to get shorting SOS, or I should say downside, because the stock's moving to the downside here today, is it's worth much more than holding it 5 cents against you. So I do get back in off that same level. I can start selling it off 10 cents for the first little bit. There's this little level pivot area at 540. Bottom, resistance at the low, also just a little bit of a bounce back price. I'm always going to take profit in front of those types of levels. I'm going to avoid getting in multiple times at VWAP here. This is a type of stock that you take one shot at it. If it can't break a couple of levels, if it holds support after making a bottom like this, you don't want to get tripped up when it breaks through VWAP. And I think that's going to be the name of the game for me. I'm pretty sure, I think I heard you right there asking about CCL, Sean. If I'm wrong, apologies. But I have not moved my stop. So if I'd gotten filled down around this level here, and if we were bouncing off of that 30.15 to 30.20 area, then I would go ahead and move my stop to 30.50. I'm still giving it to the high of the day at this point, see if it can't get a little bit closer to VWAP. Again, it can't really at this point turn into a losing trade, but I'll take some of the profit off the short. And of course, all the longs are fantastic, but I'll take some of the profit off the short if it does take out 30.65. I'll come back to TDMI, and you'll see different styles of stocks that we'll be trading here. When I tend to be in one like this, like a TMDI, where you get you get the gap up, and I just want to show you here, guys. You get a post-market move that stalls out at 250, and you get a test of that same level. You get an opening range test here. The best play, honestly, the best play is if you're only watching that stock and it tries to push through right off of the open to that level and can't get there. You play the roll, you get the 30s if you can, somewhere in that range, and then you're not even worried about this consolidation. Once it fails and shows me the weakness, I'm all over it as it's breaking down through this bottom. but I have to throw bids into these pre-market levels because it's already come back over 15% to the downside, so it might not have as big of a move. And I still like it for the short trade. I'm going to hang on to it, certainly an average in as well, and then work it to the downside. But it is what it is. Like, you missed the best trade at 235. It doesn't mean you don't play it, but you can't hunt for that 30, 40 penny move when you've already missed the first one. You got to take what's going to be given to you. Got to take some out in front of $2. So it'll be a nice little return here of 5, 10 cents the first little half. If it breaks 2, fair enough. That's where we'll get the bigger move. But you have to be willing to trade the stock as it is at the time of the day that we happen to be in right now on TDMI. CCL looks like it is going to push back up to that high of the day here. Not averaging into position on this one. I don't play the style of a trade that way, guys. It's going to make its first move. Once I get that profit, I've already taken the shares that I will into it. It is an upward trending stock, so no digging in on a CCL for me. I mean, I used to play Palantir the same way. I would avoid shorting it when I put the shares in. You don't want to be averaging into it when it already shows you putting in those higher lows. Always be careful counter trend trading. And this is on earnings as well, guys, CCL.
What, Cat? I see you there. What? Microsoft broke 250? Okay. Money alert? I mean, I don't even, like, now I want to check my portfolio, and we will do that after the show. But wow, Microsoft breaks. That's unbelievable. I mean, what is Facebook at now? We just got out at, yeah, there it goes. Facebook new all-time highs right now. Beautiful trading, guys. Microsoft, your boy is long. Everything tech. There, wow, 250 new all-time highs for Microsoft as well. Oh man, why didn't I have that 250 pegged, guys? Damn it, I didn't even notice today. I've been trading so many other names here. No losers. Like, this has just been such a great, successful day here that I'm not even, you can see, I can't even take the smile off my face right now, how well it's been. That CCL, you know, still a big winner for me. That XL's coming back, but we're just watching that. That's been a big win. I mean, look right now at Best Buy. They wish they were Best Buy. Looking now, BlackBerry now to the downside right here. I told you 930 was coming. We just touched 931. Oh, well, I mean, that was a good call. And I just want everyone to know here, we just broke through 17,000. I'm doing personal things as well on Instagram. So if you want to, I'll put this up there on Instagram. We had the champagne. Oh, and a shout out to Belle, the dog there in the background. We just celebrated our 10th anniversary. So that's that. And some funny things happening as well as some posts, but only 2,600 followers. So if you have Instagram and maybe not Twitter, I guess, you can follow me there. I'll put that link in the chat. But what a big day this has been, man. We'll go over some more stocks when we get back from Ms. V. What's up?
Hey Sean, Esports Entertainment is the name from the chat. GMBL is up around 4%, guys. Could you take a look at this name?
Yeah, I actually just saw, I just saw a volume spike on this name. Just moved $1 to the upside here. So most of that move just happened. I quickly tried to get a bit of a check to see what the news might be. I mean, the chart is going to confirm that we're in sort of like a mini break here from like that 15 level and probably heading into what I would expect to be chopped depending on what that news might be. Well, I have to check, and I don't like trading blind. I'm pretty much never going to do it here. So I want to see what the news is on GMBL specifically today. Brendo?
Not seeing anything yet, guys, but I wanted to show you this one. I'll double check on GMBL. I wanted to show you this one as well. Bonso Electronics International, yeah, BONSO, BNSO, up huge today. Just halted, reopened, halted again. We're up to 1150 here on this one, guys.
Come on, Brendan. You don't know more about Bonzo? Neither do I. Go ahead, Neil. Sorry about that.
You think I know something about Bonzo? Look, okay, and first of all, apologies. I don't know. We don't know anything about the company. You can't have a knowledge of every single name, and especially some of the smaller cap companies. We'll look into it for sure. It's not as if we're going to completely ignore some of those stocks. I mean, I want to check to see what the news is, especially with that GMBL, right? You see a volume spike like that, and then it's made that dollar move. You want to make sure you're not missing out on something because you'd hate to get. I would hate for someone to get into position. It's like, well, we could have got the news for you. We'll check in on it for sure. I got to come back to SOS. It didn't make that push back into view up. Never broke it. Now we're heading back down. I don't like where that bid is. I see an offer here. There you guys are. I just took a few more shares off there at 49. I don't know if you quickly saw that, but someone throwing 30,000 shares on the offers that trailed to the downside there. So I wanted to quickly get some shares off there. It came very close. It was 2 pennies away from my bid. So I'm like, whatever, who cares? I'll get some more shares out. This actually allows me to get into more if it comes back into that 50s, high 50s, low 60 area for a continued rollover. And again, if it presses through the bottom, I can always take some more shares off through 525. It's done 130 million shares. We did say this would be a name that you'd have no trouble getting back into if you like it. So that's what I'm going to go ahead and continue to be active on. CCL, it is what it is. I mean, like it's in the money here, and I told you guys I wasn't going to average into it. More to do with the trend, more to do with the strength of the name. Could it be some of the bias from the longs that we had earlier on in the day? It's potentially true, and it looks like it would have been a good, short the top end here, get back in at 56, 57, 58 where we had it before, scalp the same trade, take your 15, 20% worth of profit, hang on to the rest. I just don't like digging in to CCL here. The market is still pretty strong. We're still heading up towards those high of the day, so no need for me to average into it back again. I'm just going to hang on to what I have, see if we can't get a flush a little further, and take the rest of that trade out. TMDI. I said we'd be patient with this one, rounded into some more shares in the teens. It couldn't even test 215. Trying to give a failed breakthrough through 210 and couldn't get through 215. So I get into more shares. I got 10.5 as my average price. It's going to do that whole you'll see my last fills come in. So my price will improve as I start to get out of it. But it was a 10.5 average trade, guys. So if I'm risking through that 15 area, and that's going to be a key, I'm going to start getting out in terms of those 5. So 205, I took some shares off. I got a bid in front of 2 even. I have a bid on the south side. So when stops break at 2 even, I will take some off on that momentum at $1.97. This was a $1.80 close yesterday, so I don't think you're getting too much better than that on a full retracement of TMDI. So that's the way I structured my trade here. And just back over to GM. I want to call it sleepy, but it's the good kind of sleepy, right? Like if you get a consolidation break here through 61.50, we have a couple of things we can do here. One, I could just take it off on first momentum, like cancel this at 85, take it off on first momentum in the 65 range, take the 60-cent win. That will allow me to get more aggressive buying in terms of VWAP. I still like it down to 61.15. I'm going to go with a bit of a different approach. I'm just going to watch the level 2 on GM. See if it pops through that 61.50. I'm going to read the turn of the move. When it starts to slow down, when the bid stops following it up, get out manually on the way back in, and then look for a reentry on VWAP. As I do that, and as I get some more bids out here on TMDI, you guys are going to Money Talks with Brendan, talk a little crypto and some currencies too, I suppose.
Hey guys, yeah, currency time. Let's jump in to see what is going on so far today. A little bit of a red board, especially at the bottom end here. You can see crypto's all in negative territory today, not huge moves. Bitcoin is trying to bounce after that break of 56,000. We are approaching 57,000 once again. Overall, through the dollar index up here on the chart, so you can see a couple of days to the downside here for the US dollar. Fed minutes, remember, this afternoon, so a bit of a wait-and-see approach. The euro is higher on the day. The Canadian dollar down almost 0.4%, 0.7930 on the CAD today. The British pound lower as well. Same story for the rest of these, but not huge moves, guys, right across the board for currencies today. Back over to you.
Wow. Yeah, I mean, things just happening. I actually forgot about the Fed minutes there. We talked about that earlier off the open and then really haven't addressed it again. Look, I'm thinking right now, guys, that this is probably a decent spot to get something out on BlackBerry. We've dipped down here a couple times. Now we're back to 32. Let's just put a bid at 33 and see if we're lucky enough to get that, as my orders are a little bit slow. Okay, CCL upside still. We're watching that name. XL Fleet, and then the other name, AMC, back down below, back down below 10. I still love that level. I still think there's more flush. We still have this same trade on. We're just waiting to see where it wants to go now. I mean, these are the outs. Like, it's a profitable name, but I'd love to get this back down to 1090 again. Should have probably shorted that 04 off VWAP, but it's not really doing anything today, AMC. Just flattening around. Let's check out GameStop for those of you guys that are in this or looking to get into GameStop today. Doesn't look like it's doing much on the downside either, but still down that 2.5%. So I guess it's doing something. It's moving downside on GameStop. So we can look at that. Guys, coming up, 20 minutes. It's a good one. Hey, good name. CEO, Plant & Co. coming through. We're going to talk everything plant-based. Brendan's going to rock that. I got a little sneak peek. It's a very, very interesting company. They're going to have some brands involved that you know about. So, Brendan, I'm excited for that.
They win for like a really, really cool symbol. And I'll leave that one to you guys.
And their CEO has such a great name.
Yeah, exactly. And spelled the right way, if I do say so myself. But for my
nice Italian name.
Everyone spells it the wrong way because I spelled it the wrong way. That UTME. Congratulations to anyone that shorted it. I have to, like, it is what it is, and I give you the reasons why I was like, I'll stick away from it because of liquidity. And then the post down halt trade works a plum, guys. So you get that halt. The first time it fades in and cannot hold that level higher, that 105. Any price you get, pretty much good, halts to the downside. Even if you get back in, it holds that down halt to 95. It holds that level as well into another halt to the downside. So both ways that I like to take them would have worked out. You had to pay like $3 a share per trade. So you factor that into your downside. Like if you're holding it $5 against you, you're really risking $8 plus. And that's what you have to consider. I have to consider CCL a bit of a success. So I don't have a particular key, so this trade is approved. One of the things you'll hear us talk about, whether it's usually it's like a CCL or sometimes it's a NEO, you might hear it in some of those more active names. There can be trend trading, and certainly you have to be willing to reverse field every now and then, and you can play this so many ways in CCL. You can buy the dip and hold. You can buy the breakout and then scalp it and average back in, buy pullbacks. You can play reversals, which we did at the top here. Because of the strength, I didn't like it past that 30.15 level, so I take the last shares out at 30.21, which is all I was ever looking for out of that short trade. I don't think we're done with this particular name. A real rollover through 30 is certainly going to be possibly in play in the afternoon. A further break through 30.65 is going to be there. If we retest the top, I have the option of getting back into the short. So many ways that we can do this here, guys. But either way, you're walking on water as long as you are trading what is moving. The ES overall, like 20 handles. No, we're not. We're like 18 handles on the session if you're trading the futures, guys. So not a ton of activity. That's why we go over the watch list. That's why we give you the playbook for the stocks that we think are going to be moving. Is it always going to be true? I mean, did I think GM, like I just talked about there, did I think GM was going to break 61.50 and this would be a bigger winner? Sure I did, but you got to take what the market gives you. We're still holding support on GM, so I'm going to take some more shares in the teens here, maybe move it to like 61.17 or 18, maybe not right at that 15 area where it might bounce off my order. So I'll rinse and repeat this trade if we can. The 61.50 break still in play, and watch out, Sundial. Good thing I'm taking some of the shares out at 01 each time. It's now testing that 3 million share bid. I'm going short through $1 for sure on Sundial, like I said, all morning long. I've said it all year long, probably.
Yeah, you love to short that Sundial. And we like to trade Ford, and there it is, man. We were lucky enough to get an 81 print there on Ford before dropping back down. So that turns out to be a great little opportunity there to get out of that. And we're looking for some more names, man. Let's check out Roblox right now. It's 10:58. We have the big interview coming up. We've already talked about that with Plant & Co. Roblox over on the NYSE. My kid's finally in the money. We talked about that. And now we'll wait to see. He's 9 years old. Now we'll wait to see what Roblox does. And today, only because we've been looking at this, and you know, I don't know if I'm bullish on this name or not. I don't really know what to think. I mean, I'd rather make money on it because of all the Robux that I've spent for the kids. This is a good little spot here, though. Like, this is a good short. 71. We held 71 yesterday, and then today it looks like we've bounced off 71 a couple times. So that appears to be good to go there on Roblox if you get a 71 there. Look, join Arun and I today at 3:15. You saw him early. You're going to see him late. Arun, you know, doing the midnight shift today with us, coming in early, staying late. Brendan and I will be here as well. 3:15. Like, we're coming back. You like this show? Wait till you see the close, guys. We're coming back with that at 3:15 today. It's brand new. We launched it yesterday. I'll probably tweet the link out again for you guys. But we're really super excited and just glad that it was such a big success yesterday. That is our afternoon show. So definitely join us then. There it comes, man. I mean, this is, yes. I mean, finally it comes downside, but really, this is like, how long did this take? Like, I told you that BlackBerry was basically, I don't want to use, you know, derogatory words, but that was such a great short up there. Should have put on more, all the way back down to the downside. Tick, 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 tick. We weren't sure about it. It wasn't moving. So today looks like we'll be flat on BlackBerry, but you know, I think we had the right idea. It just goes to show you. I talked about taking breakouts, that I'm not really going to do that. I tried to break this 928 to the downside. It does work a little bit. We didn't get filled there at 22. We were waiting at 21. But see, like, averaging into it, into a name that you know is not a strong name always tends to work for me. So I'm going to just continue to do that. This is a way different break than when we put on the big boy pants and took this trade on CCL. Like, this happened at 10:01, taking out a huge level. I mean, check out the daily chart. You know, CCL took that 30 out. That's a much different break than BlackBerry break. So you got to understand that. And again, if you're looking at CCL and you're saying I'm still holding, I'm not really. I mean, I have. It's below, I can't even tell you the percentage it is on my initial, because I don't know. I think it's 3% of my initial position there. So we're just holding that. We were mainly out of them all right here at 30.50. That's a key level. I get in at O's, out at quarters, which is right here, out again at 50s. And then we just noticed the top. You know, that was an easy one right there, but now you're bouncing off VWAP. So let's see what CCL does. The market's starting to go back to the upside. We're at our highest spot today, so we're feeling a little bit like Superman there. Everything all right there, Valeria? Did you just drop something?
No, just stretch a little bit.
Just stretching. Okay. There we go. NC. Okay.
Stay nimble.
Yeah. Just let's check out Facebook quickly. Oh man, we dumped that and we celebrated when we got out of this $2 winner. But new highs, all-time highs for Facebook. And again, man, the account just keeps on adding up. Not just here, but in my portfolio, we talked about loading up on Facebook, and we did that in the 270s. So that was only a couple weeks ago, to be honest with you. Facebook taking out new highs, guys. Wow.
Yeah, a couple of things I want to come to that we haven't talked about here yet today. If we can load up there we go. Look, out of the corner of my eye, if you see me like glance over, I'm watching sundial here because I watch that dollar level. I really don't want to miss it. I have a stop, but that's not what I want to rely on. The stop is there in case I don't get out of the long position, but I want to manually take that short for any shares that I can. Pinterest showing some strength here again today. Look, a name we love here. Daily chart doesn't want to load. Gonna have to rely on the 15 minutes. So if we do get a dip back into yesterday's high, I'm looking at 84. There we go, 84.35. Right. So we're in the midst of a breakout on this name once again. And what I really love about this move is you had that little sellout long, and you should always do this. I say whether you were looking at the stock or you made the trade or not, if you have a setup that you think you would have liked on this name, but for whatever reason it didn't look at it, track it. Go back, see what the executions would have reasonably been. I'm looking like 82.30 or so on that little flush out dip. You bottom pick it, you 81 to 73. Risk to reward works out. You take some out in front of the high of the day and look for the breakout. I like Pinterest if it dips back in for this particular day trade back into 84.40. So I'm going to get that locked and loaded and ready to go. On pins, there we go. The daily chart actually finally loaded up there. So we have some room to run to that 90 February high in the middle of the month. So that's why I like the midst of this break. We'll take any kind of a dip into 84.40, about 50 pennies away, but this one's on the radar for me today. We'll see if we can't get it. GM is pulling back, getting close to catching my fill here. You guys don't want to see the daily chart. Getting close to getting my fill in that 61.75 range, so it's range bound. We're getting into that lunchtime hour. I like the long off that 61 bottom. We've already scalped it off. It can't turn into a losing trade for us unless we bungled and hold through the low. And I still like that 61.50, relieve some pressure when it breaks and take some shares off in that 65 to 70 range or wherever it happens to turn.
Oh, so sweet, just replying to a message there. Yeah, look, I'm looking for more things to trade here. We talked about this over and over again. SOS for me today, flat. You know, it does come all the way back down and we get out there. Literally flat. P&L was not a big win. We should have, we had a monster trade. It was a monster one up here. We just didn't get out enough. We held, and then now SOS not doing anything. So I just wanted to review that one as well. PaySafe, let's have a quick look at that. PSFE here, PaySafe. Does come back down, so it did take that huge square move upside there when Square was going off. Now PaySafe seems to be going off as well, so let's wait to see what's in store now. 14.50, I like that as a bid. If we can catch that as a bid there on PaySafe, 14.50 might be a decent spot. Even better though, downside 30s and 40s. Some nice little base there. I'm pure bullish on the fintech space. Let's go over to Square, obviously a more developed name and a name that you guys are probably in. Right here, 245. Come back to us, guys. 245. That would be a pretty sweet spot to get some Square. I'm just going to cancel some orders here as we watch CCL come right back into VWAP. man, if that wasn't a volume weighted average price, right? That's what VWAP is. I saw someone ask that again. We got to put a bid here, man. 30.10 and change on CCL. We're still long here. I mean, now it's a 30-cent winner, but darn it, that was a great opportunity to get some more on CCL, guys. Am I fully out of Ford? No, but I'm almost out of Ford. I have about 20% left. Just answering a question there from, let me put you on board here, Mido. I'm almost out of Ford. What's up, Brent?
Another little one, guys. Hudson Technology, that BNSO as well, reopened, flushed, halted again. So heads up on BNSO. But this one, HDSN, Hudson Technology, just popping up here. Day highs, volume coming back in. We're in significant resistance territory. Not seeing any headlines on this one, but HDSN, guys.
Thanks, Brendan. I'm going to take some more shares off of EBON now. We're still hanging out in this 550 to 535 range, and it's just this consolidation bottom at 35. It's getting a little too. That's not dicey, but it's just hanging out too long here. And if it does this throughout lunchtime, throughout the afternoon, you always have a chance to take a breakdown. And if it bounces from here, you have a chance to short the pop. So, why sit there when you can take some profit? If you know there's going to be an active trade, I'm going to like it if it breaks a low. I'm going to like it if it comes back up to 550. So why not jam some profit in there on the short side trade? In the meantime, I still have to watch that SOS. I don't have much left here. We got a couple of legs out. I was trying to see if we couldn't get some shares out at 525. The volume is still pretty low here if I can do that zoom up. It's really dying down, which is good for the short side of the trade, but you are seeing it start to creep up. I don't want this thing to spike through 565 here and then sort of average into it. So it's lulling me into a sense of false confidence, it feels like. So I'd love to see it break 60, maybe come in here and then just sort of dump, and then I can add like a 55 to 58. But I don't want to just throw an offer out there in front of 565. It feels a little bit dangerous at this particular time of day. I want to come back if I can also to that GM trade. Now, this happened to me back at 61.15 where it bounced off a bit. I got a little more aggressive, popped it up like a couple pennies or so. Now it's bouncing off 61.20. So the range is really starting to tighten up here. There's a limit to how far I'll chase this. Like I'll throw a bid at 61.21, but I'm not going to go too much further than that. At some point, I'll just be longing it at VWAP, which is not necessarily the plan, but I'll give it a few extra pennies here to see if I can play this range one more time through. What was that?
Oh man, I'm gonna like throw up. Like, look at Are you noticing any of these, Neil? Like, we're not talking much about Facebook or Microsoft or Apple or anything today. I mean, I was all over Facebook. You can see it here. I was looking at this way. There it is. I was looking at the day's low there, 305. Yesterday's low, 305.70. It happened in the pre-market. We talked about that level, and now we're up to 312.50. We were long, like we were short, out. Realized we were in trouble, not in trouble, but Brendan came with that Zoom news. We got out at 308.55. So basically flat. I mean, we were still up actually when that happened, and then it just marched right through 309. We punched that out for $1.50, and then out there for $1.80. Actually, not $1.50, $1.80. And now, like I was debating holding. This is now all-time highs through 311.35. We already talked about that. So new all-time highs for Microsoft and for Facebook. Let's check back in over on Apple. Like, oh man, like these are just, I love these names, and they just keep on ripping up every day. The portfolio going crazy. Yeah, there's Apple off a nice bottom, 125.20. Huge opportunity there for Apple. Our daily chart doesn't do it justice because they still don't have the reverse split in there. But you can see here, big time move. We're at that 50-period moving average. I don't think that's going to be correct unless there's 50 days in here from the split. So maybe it is, but we're just getting going now. Apple lagging, like all these other names are at 52-week highs, right? Apple still has that to go. So hey, if you're managing money, trust me, they're going to have to start putting some into Apple. Let's just wait to see. This is a great opportunity to buy some here on your long-term accounts. In my opinion, once again, guys. And
keep in mind, Apple, that 128 level, that's the one that we discussed. I want to say it was at the beginning of the week. It might have been on Monday. If it was last week, apologies. It was a few days ago. At any rate, and when it gets to that price, I think we like the breakout there. Another name which we did mention was going to be that, remember L Brands? We talked about this one before, catching a bit of an upgrade and have a quick look back at that space. Around lunchtime is when I wanted to be able to do it. It's giving you a bit of a range top here, 64.50. That's going to be a rollover price for me. When I see the ES stalling out here, And when I say stalling out, it's just, that's the NASDAQ here. When I see the S like basically just hang out, can't seem to break through this like 50-75 area through the top. We got a 4-handle range through the high. If this breaks down through back through the bottom, I do feel like a name like an L Brands, which has been on a great run, and we talked about this earlier, is going to be a nice little candidate for a rollover trade. Now, whether that's a consolidation off 65, failing after that 65 break, that's one way to think about it, or a simple breakdown 64.50 right into VWAP. That's a 50-cent scalp on that second trade. I think you have to go tight stop there. The spread is like 7 to 10 cents, so I would favor the rollover if we can catch 65s on L Brands. Going to be all over that one for sure. I did get GM, so like I told you, I wasn't going to chase it forever. But we did move up a little bit. This is what's going to happen. If I put in my 15 and left in my 15, 17, that's what I'd have. We were long before, only taking like 10s and 5s. Now we're long at 20s. That gives me an average price still, because I held on some shares, at 61.14, 61.13.5 actually, if you want to be technical about it. And then we're going to rinse and repeat. I'll get some shares off in front of 50. I want to hold some in the event of a 61.50 break. But keep in mind, the market is rolling over just a little bit. It's trying to break through that top. You want to have some ideas that are going to come back in for you, especially if we start to turn southbound and break some of these levels. So that brings me back to that CCL trade. I was never looking to take more than a VWAP or trace. It's now burst through, but keep in mind, it just finally broke that 30, that original breakout that we had when that battle was won. I'd expect a similar battle here and some consolidation. It would have to break a little bit lower than this to think this is going to be a bigger capitulation move, but it could easily bounce to the quarters and give you some scalp shorts as well. So this is another candidate for a bit of a reversal trade here. I'd prefer to jump into the CCLs as the ES rolls over, or maybe, like I said, that L Brands, as opposed to picking a top on the tech names. That's not the trade I prefer. I prefer to do it in CCL or L Brands if I had a choice, which I do. So that's what I'm going to do.
Yep. Lots of choices available here. There's AMC. Okay, that's the daily chart. We don't really need to see that. Oh no, is this? Oh yeah, that's still AMC. Okay, good. I was like, oh my God, don't tell me my charts froze. Okay, we're right back down into this area. I don't know if that just happened down to 94, but if it did, I mean, that's the bottom there. Like we've already gotten out. I don't know, like that must be missing data there. 94s, we got out already. That was a low tick there, actually 95. So I think we're gonna put a bid there. We're only short in 99s. So, I mean, is it a winning trade? Yes, it is, but it's not a huge one. So again, AMC, the real opportunity would have been playing off this pre-market level of 10.16, 10.17. To me, that was the real play. I thought I had an order there. I didn't. So we missed that. And now we'll just wait to see if we do tick lower to 95 again, it looks like, here on AMC. We'll wait to see if that can come through. Other than that, we talked about Ford. That's doing nothing. We still have 20%. I still want to give it, I'll take more down here if it does come in. We have that great interview on board right now. So just to review some of the trades that we have right now. BlackBerry, I mean, yeah, like this is the one, man. Feeling like Superman on this call. I mean, it's just tick, 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 tick down. You know, it's not that the amount of money on this trade that we're making or losing. It's just I called this and it actually worked. So we're really happy with it. And when you're managing a lot of positions, sometimes, I don't want the profits to disappear. So we did get out too many shares there at 35 on this move back up, watching out for this 50. But now you're seeing BlackBerry called this one. That's the first trade. That's the breakout trade. It's nicely in the money now. Looks like it'll be a profitable stock for us, but still has some work to go on BlackBerry. Then XL, we're literally holding like 5 or 10% again, all the way back down. I just wish, like I said, that I would have got out earlier in my own account up here at 1075, but we can't. What's up, Brendan?
IDRA, just checking on this IDERA Pharmaceuticals, just popping up here on volume. Not seeing anything at first glance here, but big move, nevertheless. Was doing absolutely nothing all morning. Just started popping up here on volume, guys, for IDRA.
As that pops up, come on, Bonzo, go. BNSO popping to the downside. So what goes up must come down. It's actually been open for finally more than like a minute or two. So it's starting to round itself out into a little bit more, I guess, stability is the word I want to look for here. If it comes back, look, I actually just try to pick some up at 10, and then of course you got to find out we got to pay for some shorts here. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that. But this could come all the way back into like $8 now that we've broken view up. I wouldn't think you're selling too low as long as we can hang out below this 1050 area. So BNSO, not the only name that is moving back to the downside after parabolic moves up and some multiple halts. The other one, of course, you guys that are watching that UTME, you saw how violently that came in. Eventually, most of these types of stocks come all the way back. That's just the reality. We see it happen time and time again. I'm going to get back to that TMDI. At this point, it's now held that bottom at 2 even. Not going to let it go press at 215. I will throw a bid again at 205, if only because it's showing some resistance down there. So if it's all it wants to give me, you take what the market gives you. That's the nature of the game here. And I can tell you the defense on Sundial that's being put up at that dollar, it actually looked like it was about to crack the bottom there, and I don't know, my level 2 didn't shift there, so I'll do it manually for you guys. It looked like it was about to crack. It took out a bunch of the free CNs, like hundreds of thousands of shares started going off, started to chew away at some of the bigger bids, and then just pop right back in. So if it comes up, every single time it goes up, I'm getting into more shares at 01. I still like to short through 1 even. If it holds this, the longer it holds, if it breaks up, I think you're going to get a little bit of a move that's worth it to the upside there. And of course, with Sundial, it's all about the liquidity that it has here. I still have orders at 2, 3, and 4, all the way to the upside for what I'm still in. But at some point, whichever direction this does break, I'm going to have the ones to the short side as long as, I don't see how I couldn't get a fill, but hopefully we do. And then 101, rinse and repeat every single time it decides to go to the upside there. So it may be a bit of a boring trade, but when you can take some shares on the stock like a Sundial and get a smaller move, you're going to go ahead and do that. I've been waiting for this dollar break for quite some time here. And you guys have been waiting for our guest. We are now ready. Let's go to Brendan at the desk.
Hey guys, yeah, thanks so much. The plant-based food industry continues to gain both steam and momentum and continues to get more attention almost on a daily basis. So we thought we'd bring on a company to talk about that industry. Plant & Co. is a new entrant into the plant-based industry. Sean Moniz is CEO of Plant & Co. and joins us on the show today for the first time. Great to see you, Sean, once again. Welcome to the show. This is a really interesting idea, and I want to get right into things. Why don't you give everyone an introduction, first of all, to Plant & Co.?
Sure. Well, Plant & Co. is trading on the CSD under symbol VEGAN, VEGN. We're a portfolio company that acquires various brands. We also have some proprietary brands within the plant-based space. So what we're trying to do is create that A to Z where people can go and get their meat substitutes, their chicken substitutes. They want a plant-based dairy diet. They want dry granola, all the way down to the pet food space, creating that umbrella portfolio of brands.
Plant-based pet food is an interesting topic. We're going to get to that, but I want to jump into the model itself. So creating these brick and mortar type retail spaces to, as you said, have everything under one roof and available for those who are looking for it. Let's talk about some of the individual brands that you've already got underneath that umbrella. Tell us about those.
Sure. So we did 2 acquisitions within the last 2 months. The first one was Holy Crap Cereal Brands, a very well-known brand out west in BC, in Canada. It was actually featured on Dragon's Den and also taken up to the International Space Station by our own astronaut, Chris Hadfield. So we're really excited about bringing in that brand. It's a dry granola that has 4 different SKUs on cereals. We're working on making snack packs, trail mixes for kids when school is back to normal after COVID. We're working on granola bars, energy and recovery bars. So a very versatile brand that already has some great brand recognition. The second one is Yam Chops, which was Canada's first plant-based butcher shop located here in Toronto. Again, a very well-known brand, also featured on Dragon's Den. They have 48 proprietary SKUs from chicken schnitzel to meatballs to calamari, everything under the sun on your plant-based substitute. So within these 2 brands that we acquired, we have 52 proprietary SKUs right now. And part of the acquisition strategy was getting brands that are on that hockey stick of precipice of having that revenue out there. And so that's what we're experiencing now with these 2 brands. On Yam Chops, we had over 600% quarter-over-quarter online sales increase. For the Holy Crap Cereal brand, we had a 120% increase on the Amazon side of our business. So really great brands, ones that are driving revenue, already in market. We already have Holy Crap Cereal in 575 stores across Canada. So we're just getting started and building out the different portfolio of brands.
So when it comes to Yam Chops, I have to say I actually live right down the street from Yam Chops, and I can attest it's fantastic. So definitely check that out. Let's talk a little bit about the model here. Setting up through iFranchise, by the way, these franchised brick and mortar retail stores. Give us the long-term kind of outlook, the long-term idea. What do you see this becoming in the future?
Well, we wanted to have rapid growth without having to have $50 or $100 million in the bank. Because as you know, opening up a restaurant, a physical location, it's very cumbersome. It's very capital intense. So how do you create that footprint out there where you have explosive growth with your brands? You get to dictate what the menu is as you bring brands into the fold to make sure that they have shelf space. Well, it was the franchising route. And so we looked in the space and we teamed up with iFranchise, which has done multiple Fortune 500 and Fortune 100 companies. They've worked with Chevy, they've worked with McDonald's, Tim Hortons. And so we wanted to do things right from the beginning. And so we teamed up with them. We looked at the business model, and it's great, where we can bring on licensing revenue. We can bring on a multitude of different franchisees in different hotspots and plant-based and vegan areas where people are already spending the 20 to 30% more on a daily basis to have a healthier diet with plant-based foods, people that have already incorporated it into their diet, into their household staple. And so we will open up franchise locations within those hotbeds, working with our franchisees and iFranchise to create that explosive footprint where we can go up and down the US and across Canada and create franchise locations at a fraction of the cost as if we were to spend capital intensive procedures on opening up locations, from leasing to HR to all the different cumbersome things. We still have that, but now it's decoupled working with the franchisee partner. So it's a great model for us. We're really looking forward to it in the summer months coming up. We have over 300 people who have already signed up, who are asking for packages. When can I open? What do I need to do? So it's a very, very great response for our franchising model here at Plant & Co.
Yeah, and it's been a very quick, I guess, great response. Just a recent announcement for the company. Has there been a specific area or maybe geographic location that you've seen more interest than others?
Absolutely. We've seen about 30 to 40% in the state of Florida. Now, it doesn't come as a surprise. It's just a great reassurance on the hypothesis that we had, where you have a climate that doesn't have snow like how we have here in Canada. You have gorgeous beaches, you have tremendous foot traffic up and down the boardwalk and up and down the coast. So we have a lot of interested parties down in the US, in the state of Florida, opening up these 800 to 1,000 square foot locations, grab and go, ready prepared plant-based foods, and utilizing the foot traffic that's already there. So it's a great thing to see, and that's one of the target markets we wanted to break into for the franchising model.
So before we get into what is to come in the future, because there's more options coming as well, let's discuss a little bit about the actual storefront. I want to give people a really good visual here. Like, what do we expect? If we walk in the door, is there going to be prepared foods? Is there going to be, things on the shelf, or a combination of both?
It's going to be a combination of both. So when you walk into the store, it's going to be as if you walked into your local butcher shop, your delis. So you're going to have ready to go prepared foods. So you could say, I want 4 beef patties. I would like a dozen crab cakes, 2 plant-based veal sandwiches. But also I like your burgers. So give me a frozen 12-pack of those. I'll pick up 3 sauces. I'll pick up coconut bacon bits. So it really is a medley of different variety of products where people can go in, have a grab and go for lunch, but also take some prepared foods with them home for lunch or for the next day, or even as ingredients to prepare their meals for the rest of the week.
Convenience is becoming such a key when it comes to both the retail side of things and also restaurant aspect as well. So let's talk about what is to come in the future. Obviously more options in the works. Give us some of those.
So as I mentioned at the beginning, we're looking at the pet food space. We want to complete that A to Z umbrella of brands that we have. So there's 2 more acquisitions that we're looking at. One of them is in the pet food space. There really isn't a lot of breakthrough in that space right now on the public market side. Again, through our M&A strategy, we're looking at brands that already have a brand recognition. They're making revenue. They come with distributor and retailer contracts. And so once you bring on one of these brands, you can have the 1 + 1 = 3 effect with the synergies. And we're doing that right now with Holy Crap Cereal and with Yam Chops. We're talking to different distributors that each one of them have in their Rolodex. So that also leads to a lot of explosive growth and having more of our products in front of more people, which bring in brand recognition. So what's to come? 2 parts, more brands that we're looking to acquire that are already in market, actual products that you can go and buy within physical stores. And on the second front, it's the expansion of the footprint of the franchise model. So those 2 avenues will lead to expanded foot presence, retail space, as well as a constant influx of new and innovative brands hitting the shelf. And here's the key part with it. Since we're going to own these stores through the franchise model, we'll be able to help shape what that menu looks like. So when we bring on brand B, C, and D, we can automatically give them instant shelf space, instant brand recognition throughout the franchising model. And that's very key from what we're doing differently in the plant-based space, because as of now, nobody is doing the franchising model.
It's a fantastic concept and a fantastic time to be getting into it, I feel, as there's not many options yet, especially in this city, Toronto, where we are now. It's listed, guys, as VEGN on the CSE here in Toronto. Plant & Co. Sean Moniz, CEO. Great to speak to you today.
Thank you very much for having me. Thank you.
Great look there, guys, at Plant & Co., a plant-based food option, guys, coming soon.
Thanks a lot there, Brendan. Another fantastic interview. Like I said, it was going to be a cool symbol, guys. Check that one out for you guys. CCL about to continuing a little bit of a breakdown here, guys. We talked about a couple of names to the south side. I'm all over this sundial because I actually took more shares in front of a buck, able to get filled on that bid. So I'm still going to reverse it, but the longer it holds, like I said, the longer it holds that one, the more I like it. But the rollover is happening in the market. And just before we get out of here, I just want to let you guys know that we are making a bit of a turn here. Here goes sundial right now, guys. So I got to get over this.
All right, BlackBerry on the downside is my big winner on the short. We don't have anything else. We have AMC, which we're looking. Oh my God, I don't even have any bids on AMC. That's crazy. Let's get some bids on AMC and just like ring the register on this one as well. Yeah, big move down here in the market. And yeah, we're just going to celebrate that. Finally, AMC, there's the short, there's the profit. We put that in our pocket as not bang. Nice trading. Someone said Sean and Neil probably take time off when the guest is on, but we don't. I mean, we sit here, I don't trade as actively. Was really interested in that one. Good interview there. I've seen that Holy Crap on Shark Tank, and or Dragon's Den. It was a good one, man. Wow, 85s, 86s now? Hell yeah. We're partying it up over here, guys. I hope everyone's been having a fantastic day. When we're ready, I believe it's getting earnings season. Not that we're in earnings season again, but I think we have a few more names to show you. Yesterday was pretty light. As you know, we didn't have much. CCL reported almost just as we opened. Yep. What's up, big guy?
Yeah, there's not much, guys, unfortunately. It's going to be, I think, more next week that we get into the heart and the meat of some of the banks coming through next week as far as earnings for this quarter. So, yeah, CCL finally reporting just before the open there this morning. It's worth noting, guys, we are officially under 1,000 away from 200,000 subscribers on YouTube. So big number coming for us on YouTube. Thank you so much to everybody who has hit that subscribe button in the last week or so. And even today, if you're joining us for the first time today, guys, we do this every single day. The market is open, not once now, but 2 times a day. Come back at 3:15 this afternoon.
2 times, yeah.
Yes, sir.
Go ahead. Yep.
Everybody come back, and I just want to. There's a couple stocks that moved here, guys. So I want to let you guys know. SOS did break upside, broke VWAP. I got out of it. Watch out for the push. That 605 area going to be a big one. I'm going to be so short that sundial here, 99 and change. It's been a fantastic morning. I know we got to get out of here. We can't be here forever, but you cannot forget to come back and watch the afternoon show. 3:15. We're going to be back live. There is one more thing we got to do before we get out of here, and there are good national days. There are some of them that are meh, and there are great national days, Miss V.
Thank you, Neil. And hey, guys, thank you so much for joining us this morning. We will see you today at 3:15 p.m. Eastern Time. You can find the link on our live chat, on Twitter account, and just stay tuned to our channel. And happy National Beer Day, everyone.
Innocent Gun is my personal favorite. I say it every single time because I love it. The rum cast is actually fantastic. I know Brendan's into some Guinness. Sean, what's your pick?
Yeah, I mean, I like Heineken's, I like Stella. I mean, I'm just kind of a pretty basic guy. But what I'm looking at right now is this guy right here, 200,000 subs. We got to get there. We'll match it up. I don't know, what do you guys prefer? I mean, we hit the Veuve the first time. We got the Moët this time. We'll see, but we are getting very, very close. You know, around 199,000. So join us. Oh, it's so heavy. We're going to be really excited to hit that up very, very soon with you guys. So thank you again for joining us. Join Arun and I. Well, I'll put the coming up one more time. I don't know if you just did that, Neil, but we're going to do it one more time anyways. 3:15 today. Arun and I will be rocking that late show. We're really, really excited. Join us for that. Maybe we can hit the 200. Look, if me and Arun hit that 200,000, man, Neil, you're going to miss out today because we're going to pop this bad boy on the afternoon show, guys.
And with that, it is 11:30. You know what we got to do? If you have a beverage, have it after you make that cash and after you flatten those trades, or maybe celebrate a little bit with it, guys. It's been a fantastic show as always. Make sure you come back for that 3:15 final close show. Plenty of stocks moving, market rolling back over. It is down the line on Blue Shirt Day. Miss V in the North Carolina Blue as always, even though she doesn't know that team. My man Sean Katina, for Brendan Wickens, I'm Neil Roberts. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. This is Trader TV Live. See you guys back at that 3:15 show. Bye, guys.